Nothing here is black and white. Nothing here is black and
Evening, guys. How we doing? Welcome, welcome. Hope everybody's having a good week. Get that music turned off. Jamie, how you doing, mate? Good to see you. Good to see you. I knew you'd be here. I knew you'd be here. Jungel, how you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah, welcome, guys. We've got a special stream this week. A little bit different. Special guest. We have the lovely Renee Robyn with us this week, which will be good. I'm just going to get the intro done pretty quickly, and then we can get into chatting with her. But yeah, so those of you new here, every couple of weeks we do live stream and usually just chat about different topics, whether it be a new light that's come out or news, bits and pieces like that. And then we usually go over some community images as well, so from the Shearer shoot. So this week is a little bit different. I've actually asked Renee to pull some of your images out from the Shearer shoot to kind of hopefully play with in a bit, so we can do that. If you haven't submitted an image for us to go through later on, I will just give you the link in here as well. I'll just cover that. Jamie, I'm guessing everything you can hear is okay, because last week we had an issue with the music and that sort of stuff, but you can hear everything fine on your end. So yeah, so if you wanted to post an image for us to have a look at later on, we can do that. Check that, check an image in there, just follow the link and then pop it in the comments, and then we can do that. Okay, so let's come back here to Zoom. Let's have a look. We can bring Renee in. Let me just hide duplicates of myself. Let's have a look. There we go.
There we go.
Hey, Renee, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I am good. I am good. Yeah. People in chat, can you let me know that you can hear Renee? I can see the bar moving on the OBS, but I just want to make sure you guys can actually hear, because that would be awesome. But yeah, otherwise I think we're good. I'm just going to move this over so I can actually see chat. There we go. Good stuff. Nice. Okay. So, Renee, I have known Renee for... I've certainly known about Renee for a very long time. So I remember you one of the... I think, hopefully I'm right, I think you're one of the OG DeviantArt divas, right, from back in the day. You had the you had the Lara Jades, you got the Z Motion, you got the Miss Aniela, you got Renee Robyn, like those, like you guys were absolutely storming it back in the day. I mean, I'm going back 20 years now, right?
I was gonna say that's vintage.
That is,
that's a
yeah.
vintage reference.
Yeah, there is. I don't think there's many people in chat who even know what DeviantArt is. Is it still going? Is DeviantArt still a thing?
It's still going. So what's funny about DeviantArt is that so I have a core account, and for some reason I haven't been able to log in for like 2 years.
Oh, really?
So if anyone knows anyone who works at DeviantArt, hook me up, because I can't get in.
What? Okay. So
Yeah, I don't know why.
okay.
Yeah.
I didn't even know it
Yeah,
still
I don't know what's going
existed.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still
Yeah.
there. It's still there. Yeah, I don't know how active it is. I mean, the company still exists, so obviously there is like some sort of community on there.
Yeah.
But you know, we're too old.
I know. Like that was back in the day with textures, man. Like textures, Jesus, man. Like I would go out.
Everything.
Yeah, right. I would just go out for
Yeah.
days at a time, photographing just grit and grime, and bring those back. Upload those bad boys. Because back then it's Flickr, right? That was our kind of like one of the main.
Well,
places
what's funny is that
folks
I
would use.
never was on Flickr. I never.
Oh, really?
And you know, and I love Flickr. Like I'm on Flickr now. I don't like post a whole lot, but like yeah, I never got into the Flickr world. That was never my shtick. I often wonder how different my career tastes would have changed if I had been more involved in Flickr early on.
Yeah, I mean, I had an account, but I didn't really I didn't really use Flickr a ton because everybody at the time was they're just using it as like a image bank, right? They were just like to store like just everything, just upload family pictures, family holiday, boom, just dump gigs and gigs worth of crap up there. But yeah, it's I think the DeviantArt and then the Flickr and that was where people were kind of getting their feet because that was like the early days of digital manipulation, that sort of thing. And you were like a composite artist from the start, right? Like you were into that sort of thing very early on.
Yeah, I started, I mean, I didn't know it until like a few years ago, but I started doing composite photography when I was 6. So that would be like 1991. But it was like the OG like cut and paste because I was taking photos of because I lived on a farm and I was taking photos of the cats and I would like cut them out and like legitimately glue them into photos of them like jumping into the fish tank or something, like just like
physical
like
Pritt stick,
physical,
sticking them on there. Yeah. Okay, nice.
So that was like that was where it actually started. So I think it was always there in my brain, and then like Photoshop 7 came out. Well, technically I think I started on Photoshop 5 in 1997, but then I got a copy of Photoshop 7 totally legally because we all did. Back then,
of course, yeah. I mean, to be fair to them, that was heroin marketing. Like, they knew what they were doing, man. You can't tell me that they weren't flooding the market with sketchy copies. I know what they were doing, and look, it paid off. It paid off, right?
Yeah. Now they have all of our money every month.
I know. Yeah. Like, what am I going to do? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So.
But and then I started in Photoshop 7 in '97, and I was really into like making fonts and of course textures and all that kind of stuff. But I didn't really apply it to photography in the way that I do now anyways until like a few years later. But yeah, Photoshop 7, not CS7, just 7.
That's true. That's right. You're right. Yeah, there was that before CS. Yeah. So I was like, I think I was Photoshop 5.5 or something like that, and that was like layers. Woo, exciting times, right?
Yeah, I was just gonna say layers.
Yeah,
oh my God.
It seems bizarre to even consider that as being a feature, right? You can put an image on top of another image. It's wild. It's just, are you kidding me? Like that's
crazy. Yeah. And then opacity sliders between the layers. It was like this. All of a sudden, like the world opened, and then they created blending modes, and it was just like what.
So it's certainly come a long way. And look, guys, I know I'm kind of definitely rambling about the good old days here before I start yelling at clouds. But if anybody does have any questions for Renee about her work or how she got where she is and that sort of thing, then certainly let me know. So if we kind of fast forward a little bit, Renee, then you've been I tell you what. So I googled your name, and the first thing that comes up is Renee Robyn Mermaid. That's the first thing that comes up. I'm like, what is going on there? So can you kind of talk me through that story? Because I looked into it because you did a bunch of, is it Shibari? Is that how you say it, Shibari?
Yeah, I did a bunch of Shibari shoots, yeah.
So can you kind of explain what that is to the layman like me? So what is Shibari first? Yeah.
Well, so the most muggle description that I can give is it's a form of Japanese rope art.
Okay.
Like to bind and restrain a person. And then over the years, it has been, centuries, it has been, turned into like a more like sexualized experience, a kink experience, et cetera, et cetera. Like it's a whole world that, I can't get into too much detail on YouTube.
So you kind of decided to kind of take that base principle and then apply it to your own idea with this series of mermaids. Is that right?
Yeah. So basically, what it was is that I had a client reach out, and she was like, I like really want to do like a shoot, and she had made her own mermaid tail, and I was like, cool, that sounds fun. And so we did the first shoot, and I was like, she had this idea, and I like won't mention it publicly because we haven't actually ever done her full idea.
Yeah.
But
so I've pulled up your Instagram at the moment. I'm just scrolling back to some of these mermaid shots. But go on, carry on.
Yeah, no, it's all good. But anyway, so we had this. I was like, oh man, it's like how fun would it be to make like a net for a mermaid, but like make it out of shibari rope. And she was a shibari model. So I lucked out. By total fluke, I found an experienced rope bunny who also manufactured her own tail. Because like when you do shibari on the tails, like it can tear them and rip them and damage them, and these tails are like thousands of dollars. But she had made her own, so we were just like, well, she can fix it.
Wow. Okay.
And so I had a really good rope team that I was working with, and we basically just like did a series of poses. And yeah, one of them in particular really popped off. And I can say that out of, I have only ever had one original idea, and it was that Shibari image. Everything else is a copy of something I've seen somewhere else. But if you look on the internet, there was no Shibari mermaids before 2018. So
Interesting. Okay. Okay. So the image I've
yeah,
got up
okay,
here
that's my one.
is like the girl with red hair and the red tail. Yeah. And that seems to be the one that I've seen the most of. Is if
Yeah,
I presume
yeah,
I'm
that
clicking on the right
one.
image.
Even Shakira inspired her album artwork off of it. So yeah,
So yeah, and I understand that obviously everything is fine now, but at the time, I think there was, like it became famous because your group of very loyal followers were keen to point out that maybe
it was
the image.
hers. It was hers. It wasn't like my people did too, but like it was her. It was her people who
Okay.
called it out. Like I woke up to Instagram one
Okay.
day, and
Yeah, talk
I
us through it.
had
Yeah.
thousands of notifications, and I was like, "What
Okay.
is happening?" And her album artwork had been leaked, and so yeah,
So I need to see this album now. So is it what's the title of the album, or do I what should I search?
I don't even know. You just like search Shakira Mermaid Shibari, you'll probably find it.
Shakira.
But it's definitely, like I said, we reached an agreement and everything's fine. But it was like, full disclosure, like my mom was, going through chemo at the time, and I was like, my sister and I were we're her caretakers. This is before she had passed, and I was just like, I don't have time for this. Like I was in the hospital with mom, like that week, like that, like I was literally in the hospital with mom. I open up Instagram and it's just like this flood, this deluge of notifications, and I was just like, I have no. I don't even know where to start with this, right? And I was just like,
That's
and
crazy.
it became like a feeding frenzy of like lawyers and like, TMZ's reaching out and stuff. And to give TMZ credit, like, I responded to them and I was like, look, this is a situation. My mom doesn't want anyone to know that she's got cancer, I just, can you not? And to give them credit, which I didn't think was possible, they didn't.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
so I'm grateful for that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
So whilst you were chatting, then I found the image and kind of putting it up there. So obviously we got your one there with the red tail, and then we've got like a very very similar pose, right? Very similar pose, and the
Yeah,
and the way
it
that
was
sort of thing. Yeah.
it was similar enough for sure that like I was just getting like bombarded with lawyers being like, can we please take the case? Can we please take the case? Can we please? And I was just
really?
like,
That's what was happening. Oh wow. Okay.
yeah. So like on top of just like thousands of notifications coming in every hour from like people that I've never heard of.
Okay.
But yeah, like the largest number of the people who were reaching out were fans of Shakira. They weren't people who followed my work.
Cool. Okay.
Like,
Okay.
because I mean, like, just if you think about like just the number of people who know who Shakira is versus the number of people who know who I am, like it's like, a grain of sand to an ocean, right? Like,
I know what you mean. Yeah.
so
Yeah.
just like mathematically, it's not saying anything that like, that my people weren't more just as passionate or whatever. It's just that Shakira's got like
It's a lot.
58 million people following her.
Yeah. Okay. So I mean,
so, yeah.
like you kind of know that something's up when the lawyers are actually going, there is a case here and that sort of stuff. But you managed to kind of sort it out with them.
Yeah, we were able to like reach an agreement basically, where I was just like, like you didn't have to do that. Like her manager had emailed me and I was like, hey, just so you know, and I like was very honest. I was like, I am literally in the hospital with my mom right now. She's had a negative reaction to the drug that she's on. I don't have a lot of time to deal with this. And they were just like, uh-oh.
Okay.
I don't know what to tell you. It was like, we just got to figure this out and figure this out fast because I don't have time.
But they did the right thing and was
and-
like, yeah, we like whoever did the album was heavily inspired, and it was all worked out well.
Yeah, I mean, like obviously there's like written agreements in place on like what I can and can't talk
I
about
am
right now.
totally.
So
I'm guessing that's why we're sidestepping around it. So I'm trying to be
yeah,
respectful of that, and I
yeah,
totally
exactly.
get
So
that. Yeah,
there's like a fine line there, but at
yeah,
the end of the day, I mean, like I was able to like pay my team
good,
like
cool. Yeah,
fairly,
yeah, yeah,
and I'm very grateful for that opportunity to be able to like take, what was given and was able to like give it to the team,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and so that was the best part. Because like I mean, ironically, like if they had just emailed me and said like, "Hey, we wanted to, create an album artwork like inspired by your pose. What would your licensing fee be?" I would have been like, "Yeah, here's some pocket change number," and like, full
True, it's
disclosure, like
true. Yeah,
we're
you're
not
right.
talking we're
Yeah,
not talking six figures here or anything like that, nothing like that,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like
yeah,
that's not
yeah,
how this went.
yeah.
But at the same time, like it did give me the opportunity to like, you know, really help a lot of the people who had, like these people who this image wouldn't have existed without them. So I was just
True.
like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
divide, give.
Cool, cool.
And that felt really good to be able to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, nice for
Yeah.
for a change, right? Everybody worked hard, and for everybody to get something from it, it's cool.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. And I did have an agency. I did wind up bringing in an agency to do the negotiations for me because again, like I just legitimately had no time.
I think that's a
So
smart move. I think if I was in the same situation, I 100% would have done the same thing. It's not my world at
definitely.
all, right? Yeah,
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 yeah. A girlfriend of mine had something similar happen with another like triple A list, like one of the biggest celebrities in the world had ripped off her image.
which
And I sent her a message like when I realized what was happening. I was just like, dude, what do I do? Because I was like, this is gonna get public, and I was like, and then people are gonna find out that my mom has cancer. My mom doesn't even want her family knowing right now. I was like, what the fuck am I supposed
oh
to do?
shit, I see. Okay, yeah,
And she's like, because hers went public and it went through the news and through the media, and it was 6 months, and like it was just chaos. And of
okay,
course, like her business is like also a AAA studio business. She's dealing with like the best clients in the world, so it's unusual for her work to have been so directly stolen.
true. Yeah, usually people are a
And
bit smarter than that. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, so but anyways, it was interesting, and so I was like, what would you do? I was like, because like you can like quote unquote settle for like a small number, but it's done tomorrow, or you can do 6 months of your
I know,
life
right? Yeah,
and you're
yeah,
everything about who you are dragged
yeah.
through the mud through a very uncaring media, right?
Yep.
And then that payout is huge,
Yeah, yeah.
right? And so she did the 6 months thing, and I was like, what
Fair.
would you do? She was like, I would take my 6 months back. She's like, it was not worth it. And I was like, okay,
Yeah, I
decision made.
yeah,
And
no, I
I was
agree.
like,
I agree.
I
I would be
need
me.
the agency. I need the agency that you hired. And she's like, they take a percentage. I was like, I don't give a shit. I was like, I don't actually care.
Yeah,
I was like, I have a dying person
I want this
that I am
done.
looking after. Like, this
Yeah.
doesn't mean anything to me right now, which is so funny because like if that was to happen at any other point in my career, that would have been like the biggest thing that had ever happened to me. And it just literally happened to happen the exact same week,
Yeah.
the exact same day that I was in the hospital with my mom. She's had a bad reaction to the drugs.
Yeah.
Everything's bad. And I was just like, all right, I just need this over so that I can just figure this out. And so
Yeah.
like by Friday, like the deal was locked and loaded and everything was done. And I was just like, cool, whatever, next. Like, it was wild that it literally happened like the same like horrible week.
Yeah, that is, yeah. Talk about sod's law, but at least and look, I think you definitely it looked like all parties made the right choice there. They owned up to yeah. It was heavily inspired. We want to make this right, and look, same as you. I think I would have taken the least amount of stress. Yeah, I mean, yeah. So I think that makes sense. But look, it all
So
worked out in the end.
yeah, if you're ever in a situation like that, like there are agencies out there that is literally what their thing is. But the thing that I did learn that was like that really changed a lot for me was like I'm Canadian, right? So my images are automatically protected by copyright law in Canada.
Same here in the
But
UK. Yeah.
my images are not registered with the US Copyright Office. If those images had been registered with the US Copyright Office, that number would have just gone
Yeah, true.
like probably at least 10 times, if not more.
Yeah.
If it had been registered with the US Copyright Office. And I was like, oh shit. I was like, notes made, got it. Okay.
I mean,
So,
yeah. I mean, yeah. That is obviously a deeper dive for another day. And there are guys I know that take like 10,000 images down there and just like going, yeah, these are all copyright. They do it in like bulk and that sort of stuff. And yeah, if you're watching this, then check your where you are. And like Renee said, Canada is covered. The UK is covered as well. I think Australia might be the same as well. But
but because the copyright infringement happened in the US, if my images had been
I see. Okay.
If it had been registered with the U.S. Copyright Office, because as a Canadian, I can register my images with the U.S. Copyright Office.
Interesting. I see.
We can all register our images. Yeah. But because the copyright infringement happened out of the U.S., the laws would have completely changed. Because that was the first email. Every single lawyer that emailed me said, they're like, "Are your images copyrighted?"
Right.
And I was like, "Yes." So like with the U.S. Copyright Office, and I was like, "No," and they were like, "Cool, well."
Okay.
But like it was just like so many emails were coming in, and it was just like it blew my mind. I was just like, "Holy shit!"
Man, yeah.
It was
blood in the
crazy.
water. Man. They go crazy for it. Yeah.
It was wild, yeah. And I mean, like everybody's just looking for a percentage, but like if I was willing to like do the 6 months, like that's not a small percentage for them.
True. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was just like, people are gonna find out. My mom hasn't even told her family yet what's going on. Like, they don't want to find out about this shit through,
especially that way.
News.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. So, because they're like, and I'm telling my mom, I'm just like, I don't actually know if I can keep the lid on this. Like, I'm gonna try, but I don't actually know if I can. Yeah. But fortunately, like I said, to give the reporter credit at TMZ, they didn't run it, and so I was very grateful for that, because I was just like,
fair play.
So like I didn't think that there was such a thing as integrity.
I know, right?
In the media, on those kinds of things. But yeah, I mean, like, and to give like Shakira's team credit, they were all super professional, and like this isn't like me trying to be like, PR friendly because we signed a document. It's actually like actually working with them was like.
Good.
It wasn't painful.
Good. I mean, it's good to have
wasn't like this
happy ending to that. Yeah. So these mermaid images, then this is obviously you've done a bunch of these. How long have you been working on them?
I did a whole bunch. I did like the first set just went bananas, and like they have been stolen, ripped off, and copied more times than I can count.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just like, let's do a whole series. I did men, I did like all of the things, and I was just like, let's have fun with this, because like I had a studio at the time. Unfortunately, the building was sold a couple of years ago, but I had a studio where we had a 25-foot ceiling, and I could rig like shibari from the ceiling, so I would have a 25-foot space to pull somebody up off the floor.
Yeah, true.
Because like the tail.
Space.
Yeah, so like this is the thing about doing shibari with mermaid tails, is that shibari is really hard on the body, but then you put a mermaid tail on, that's another like 60 to 80 pounds of silicone, so it's so painful. Oh, it's so heavy. Like literally, like to shoot that, we pull the person up, and I shoot like 10 frames as fast as possible, put them right down, because it's like it's so hard on the body. Like the extra weight is bananas. Yeah.
Damn.
Like it's one thing if you're just tying off the hips and the tail, and like I said, it does tear the tail usually. It does damage it. Yeah. But like that part is easy. But if you're doing anything on the upper body, like that model, she's trained in shallow breathing, because you can't expand your rib cage, because we have to tie so tight. Otherwise she'll slide, and then she's getting, damage to the skin and everything because of all the extra weight. So we have to tie so tight. Yeah, it's risky as shit. But it was super fun. I mean, like, the team and everybody was like, we were all just so jazzed, but like had no idea that it was going to take off the way that it did.
That's awesome. Yeah. I mean, I heard somebody say the other day that if nobody's copying from you yet, you're just not good enough. Right? Now look, take that as you will, but like, I mean, basically what they're saying is it's kind of inevitable if you do this long enough and you create something cool, then like, it is.
Oh, of course it's going to get ripped off. Yeah. 100%. But my favorite thing right now, though, is like with all the AI bullshit out there, is like if I see like something really cool and it's AI made, and I was like, cool, stealing that.
So okay, so let's have a quick chat about that, because you come, like I said, you've been doing Photoshop composites like right from the start, like before composite was even a thing or a term, like
before there was a word for it,
right? So you were doing it. And now we've got to this point where like the composite side of thing, to some younger people, it's like, well, why would I bother? I can just kind of do this in AI. What are your kind of takes on this? And we can do, like Photoshop, generative AI, obviously different to something like Midjourney, which is, like a complete thing. Do you use AI, or what are your thoughts on it?
So I would say that 99.99999% of my work has absolutely zero AI in it whatsoever.
Okay.
Am I using the masking tools that are done by AI now? Like, obviously, yes, because they're really good.
Interesting. Okay.
So like Photoshop's masking tools and stuff like that are awesome. I mean, it'll get me like 90% of the way there, and then like, in literally like 2 clicks, and then I just have to fine tune it that last 10%. Like, if these tools existed 15 years ago when I started, of course I would have used them. So I'm using them now. But as far as the generative stuff goes, every now and then I'll like noodle around with it. Like if I have like a dress or something and I'm like, oh, it'd be nice if that was like 6 inches longer. I might try like a generative thing.
This is still
and just
in
like,
Photoshop though, right?
Photoshop. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll use the generative tools there sometimes. But I mean,
like 5 years ago, you would have had the same, like, oh, I wish that dress was like 6 inches longer, but you would have done it yourself anyway. Like, it's not like it's not like you're using it to create something that you wouldn't have done before, right? You would have would have made that dress. It would have taken you longer.
Like I do experiment
in the past.
with it.
Yeah.
It would take way longer for sure. Yeah. Like I do experiment with it. Like in 2021, I got a concussion. Mom and I got T-boned in a car accident. And it kind of like scrambled my brain a little bit. So every now and then now I have a hard time. And like, I know there's an idea there, but I can't quite bring it to the forefront of my head anymore the same way.
Welcome to my world, mate. What are you talking about?
Yeah. It also could just be like I'm 40 now.
Look. Dementia runs in my family, so I've got my excuses all laid out, man. Yeah. So you're sticking to your T-bone story. Look, I respect it. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like, but anyways, so like every now and then, if I have like an idea and I'm just trying to like pull it out, I'll like go to Midjourney and just like punch something in and just be like, yes or no. But like, I open it like maybe 3 times a year.
Okay.
Like, I just don't like, cause like it's, I have a lot of friends who like shoot product photography and stuff. And the thing that they love is like being able to like, Midjourney a background they can put on a TV screen.
Yeah.
Rob
and I'm
Grimm
like, has obviously been doing a bunch of that. You've seen,
Yeah, Grimm's doing great stuff with it. And I'm like, that makes sense. Like, that makes sense to me because, like, you want to spend all your time photographing the product and lighting the product and everything. Like, that is a situation where, like, AI just, that tracks for me. Like, but for me, like, I think the most important parts are that, like, I like to photograph my own background plates. And recently I've started working with building miniatures. And
I saw
those
that,
as parts of my background plates.
Yeah.
So I've been having fun with that. But I mean, like for me, so much of the creative process involves being off the fucking computer and off the screens, right? Whereas like AI just keeps me tethered to the computer more. And I'm like, that's not like, that's part of it. And I'm going to be staring at the screen, like editing skin, masking out hair, like doing all those things. But there's like a very integral part of the process for me that involves like being in the real world, whether it's like building a miniature or like going on a hike or like getting on an airplane to go get some weird location pieces or whatever, right? Like those steps are all still really important to me. And like, yeah, I could just go into AI and just be like, give me a cool cave. And I'm like, yeah, but then I wouldn't have the memory of like, going out with some friends and like hiking out to this really cool cave and one of us almost dies, and like then we have a story, right? And all of a sudden that's what makes life worth living for me.
True. Yeah. That is an interesting point, actually. Yeah, and I think as well that the part that you're talking about there is the creative part, right? And I think that is where mistakes can happen, right? Where you try something and it doesn't work out, but you can also try something and rather than it just not work out, but the thing that didn't work out sparks a new idea, right? You can go, that's interesting. I didn't realize that would happen. Like maybe, and I've certainly had that where ideas like maybe haven't come to fruition for like multiple years, like 5 years. Something that I saw light passing through trees like 5 years ago, and I'm like, holy shit! I can now recreate that with like glass blocks that I never thought possible, right? And you start to put these ideas together. So yeah, I think that it is really important to kind of try and create those things because it's all about building that what I call visual library, right? Which is super
exactly. And like admittedly, failure is such an important part of the process as well. I constantly say like I fail my way to success on so many images where I like open it up and I'm like, all right, I don't know where this is gonna go, but we're gonna go somewhere.
Look, I know, I 100% agree. And look, I don't want to get too existential about this, but yeah, I mean, for me, one of the definitions of creativity is failing, right? Because if something doesn't
Yeah,
doesn't
100%.
work, you do something different, and it's that act of doing something different that is creating, right? And that's
Yeah.
really what it's all about. And like, you can go, well, you're doing that in Midjourney. You kind of are, but really all you're doing is it's throwing stuff at you, and you're going, I prefer that one, or I prefer this one, right? And it's like, and look, there's nothing wrong with that at all. I'm just saying that don't kid yourself and think that you're creating by doing that. You're just choosing your favorite, right? Which
Yeah.
anybody can do, you know.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like it's I have this is my one opinion on like the AI stuff, and that like 99.999% of the shit that's out there that I see is derivative slop. However, 99.999% of photography that I see out there is derivative slop, my work included.
Okay. Fair
Lots
take.
of my ideas
Yeah.
I've seen somewhere else where I'm just like, oh, that'd be really cool if I like take a piece of that and then I like change like all these random things and I like mix a bunch of
true.
stuff together.
It's true.
I saw shibari for before, I saw mermaids before, and I was
You
just like,
just
let's bash these
smush
two
them
ideas
together.
together and see what happens, right?
Yeah.
So AI is basically doing that, but on like a much faster level. And so like I have seen, and it's not common, but I have seen like some AI images out there and like AI projects where I'm just like, actually, that is thought-provoking work. Again, it's not very common, but again, it's not very often that I see any piece of art that really moves me. Like I mean, I will always have a deeper connection to work that wasn't just like typed onto a computer, like into a
Prompted.
keyboard, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah. It just feels different for like, intangible reasons. But, at the same time, there are pieces of inspiration to be found everywhere. And like, let's be honest, if, when I first got into composite photography, people would just say, well, you're a composite artist, you're not a photographer. And I was like, well, actually,
That's
I'm photographing
true. That's
all of
true.
the elements
Yeah.
in my image. I photograph every single piece. So
Yeah.
I'm also a photographer and a composite artist. And that was something that like I really ran up against for the first 10 years of my career.
I can
And I think
absolutely
people,
believe that. Yeah. True.
yeah. But so when we look at like stuff that's happening with AI, like the 1 to 2% of people out there who are really doing mind-bending, thought-provoking stuff, who are taking the technology and twisting it on its head, that is where like I think the next iteration of like some really interesting stuff is going to start happening. But, is that going to be from most of us? Like it sure as hell isn't going to come from my Midjourney prompts. That's like, there's no way.
Yeah. Do you think young people entering
but,
the
yeah.
industry now are going to do less compositing than your generation?
I don't actually know. Like I think because I mean when you look at it, there are more people who paint like, and this is like again, I'm coming at this from like a hobby perspective, not so much a commercial perspective, but there are more people who paint like analog now than ever. There are more people who paint miniatures more now than ever. There are
Okay.
more people who are getting into film photography now more than ever. And everything is cyclical. So I do think that like, yeah, with AI and everything, it does limit, what people think, like why would they spend all this time doing composite photography? But at the end of the day, it's a unique way to tell visual stories that you only get those results using these techniques. And so people will find, I think, their way back to it because it's actually just really fun. It's an actually really
I was so
interesting
hoping you were going to
type
say
of
that
artwork.
word. Yeah, not like and the one F word that is a good F word. Yeah. So the fun I think is huge, right? And I think that we're going to get into Boris effects in a minute, and it's a very powerful tool,
No rush.
post-production tool that can do a huge amount. I mean, it's used on major movies, but for me looking into it, it's like, it's not really my sort of thing because I like to do it in camera. But at the same time, it's a ton of fun to actually play with, right? To actually play with images and play with what these tools can do and, actually create something. So, yeah, look, I 100% agree. I think me just sat down writing out prompts. Look, it's not fun for me, but me getting into like Boris effects and like moving stuff around and playing with it is fun. So, yeah, I think you're right. I think people will end up coming back to the F word occasionally for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. I like to tell people it's pushing sliders till it sucks less.
Damn, man. Aspirational words. Yeah.
Basically, how
Yeah.
I look at my retouching when I'm editing it, I'm just like, cool tone, warm tone, cool tone, warm tone, cool tone, warm tone, like back and forth, back and forth, back and
Nice.
forth.
And then you come back tomorrow and hate it. Yeah, love it. Love it. Yeah, nice. Yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%.
The
That's
true
the part
artistic
that's always
cycle.
funny is
Yeah.
yeah. The people are always like, oh, how do you edit your images the exact same the next day? And I'm like, I copy and paste the settings. Like, there's no way it's gonna look exactly the same
Right.
if
Yeah.
I did it the next day.
Yeah.
Like, it's very dependent on like how much sleep I've had, what mood I'm in. Did I watch Dune last night? Did I not? Like,
Yeah. How bright was my
did
room?
I watch Mandy? Like,
Yeah.
what? Like, like what has
Yeah.
been in my brain the last 24 hours is highly gonna influence whatever it is that I'm editing every time.
I think the creative process is kind of this mystical thing to a lot of people, and I think a lot of people like to pigeonhole this creative process that some of us have as this. It's this process, and you sit down and you do this, and then I do that, and then it's like I really don't think some people realize. And I'll be the same on set when I'm actually shooting with lights, right? Everybody goes, "Oh, you go in with this." Like I kind of go in with, obviously with an idea and a structure of like the lights and the type of look that I want. But in reality, once we get in there and we start pushing and pulling stuff around, it's like, oh, she's got platinum hair, not dark hair. Let's switch that light around. Like most of the time, you kind of just adapting to what's unfolding, and Photoshop or whatever is kind of for me anyway, the similar process. It's not this hard and fast, just get in there and get out. You are kind of playing with it for a little bit, for sure.
Well, I mean, there's two arguments there. I mean, the first side is like if you're a commercial artist and how you make your living is by delivering a result, then like you have to have a process, you have to have a ritual, you have to have repeatability. That's just the nature of being a commercial artist and like being like delivering, to a certain standard every single day. But then there also like when I was still shooting like commercially, like, fucking way too many shoots a year, I would still book every single month at least one play session where I would show up to the studio, no plan. Absolutely no plan. I would pick different light modifiers.
No plan,
I would
okay.
like zero plans. And I would just I call them like the fuck around find out days where I would just like call up a buddy, like a friend, somebody I knew, and I would be like, hey, I will get you something nice. Like right off the top, we'll get something nice.
Yeah.
So that you'll have something that was worth your time. And then we're going to screw around. And I was like, and I have no idea if this is going to work.
Trust me, bro.
And I still, well, not even trust me. I'm just like, do you want to just come hang out with me and eat donuts and like drink ice caps and shoot photos? Cool, let's do that. And so like I was very, very like militant about it, that every single month I would book at least one of those, because otherwise I was getting stagnant, I was getting bored, I was getting resentful, I was getting tired, I was getting all of these things, and it just wasn't worth it.
Yeah, it turns into a job.
So I was
for
just
Christ's
like,
sake.
I have to
come
book.
on.
I would book myself as a $5,000 client. So if somebody came along with like more than $5,000 and they wanted that day, then I'd be like, okay, cool, I'm moving it. But if it was under $5,000, I would try to move that shoot to another day, because I had me booked as a $5,000 client that day. And if I didn't feed myself creatively, I was never going to survive. Like I've been in this industry now, like professionally, for 17 years. And like, that's not forever, but that's also not no time at all, which means I've done the cycle of burnout lots of times. And like, I have, I don't need to do that anymore. Right. So like, I know now that like, if I don't feed me, it's like don your own mask before you like assist anybody else. It's the same thing. Like and not everybody's like that, but I am. I know that like, I have to feed me first before I can feed other people creatively.
I love that. True. And it is true. It is true. You got to keep yourself sane. And look, and you're right, like you said it, and we all go through that burnout phase as well of like, fucking hell, I can't create anything creative anymore. Like, what the hell am I doing? I'm just on a treadmill. Like, we all go through that phase for sure. Yeah. And if you do it long enough, like you say, you go through it multiple times. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I've hit rock bottom and then found deeper like multiple times now.
Deep, nice, cool, great. It's
like waking up one day, looking up, going, "Oh man, the light is really far away."
Christ. Right, let me just check up on these grubby reprobates we got in chat here a second. Make sure I haven't missed anything. Let's see what I got. Vlad, hey doing, mate? Sorry you're late. You'll have to see me after. I'm afraid it's unacceptable. Sterling, hey doing, mate? Doing questions in here. Jungle's saying he knows of a bunch of photographers who were inspired by your mermaid shot and wanted to test it out as well.
That's
so
fun.
so it's certainly something.
Yeah.
Jamie says, what are your
Work
thoughts
carefully.
on the Photoshop beta new tool, Harmonize? I know nothing about that, so hopefully.
Oh, Harmonize. Yeah. Very cool. So basically it's like you can take like, your background image and your subject and you can just slap it together and then it just goes harmonize and it harmonizes all the color and contrast.
Shut the fuck up. Are
It's
you
actually,
kidding me?
it's great. Yeah,
Really?
it's pretty awesome to be honest.
So,
Like,
hang on
yeah.
a second. So what? You just shoot somebody in the studio or something like that, and you go, I want to put them in the moors, and it will. You put it on top, and then it kind of sort of color grades both of them, so they look like they're in the same shot.
And the lighting and all the things, it's wild.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I'll have to look at it. Okay, interesting. Yeah. So
Yeah.
so Renee approves begrudgingly. She
Yeah,
approves,
it's very
yeah.
cool. The part that's funny though is that I don't like, so I like it. I like that it exists.
Yeah.
But for the work that I love that's mine, I don't use that technique because it doesn't look like my work anymore. Because the technique that it uses to harmonize everything is a different series of steps than what looks like my work. So I have used it and I was like, whoa, that's awesome. But when I looked at the final piece, I was like, but it's compared to the body of work that I have, it stands out in a way that doesn't feel like my own.
Okay.
And
that's
so-
fair. Yeah, that's fair. Okay.
Yeah,
So
I mean, will I probably use it if I'm like, I want to stick a bunch of butterflies in and I'm just like, stamp a bunch of butterflies in. I'm like, harmonize. I'm like, yeah, 100% I'm going to do that.
Interesting. Yeah.
As opposed to
I
going
have
in
try
and
it,
like,
yeah.
sticking them in a group and like perfectly matching it all. Like, oh, it takes so long. So like for elements, yeah, I'll probably use the harmonize filter all the time. But for like my main elements, like I'm working on a composite right now, where I photographed a miniature, it's a Warhammer cathedral. And then I just edited all the Warhammer stuff. And then I like texturized it to make it look like it's actually stone. So I'm like doing that.
Is that the video you posted on
with this,
Instagram
like-
the other day? Is that one?
Oh no, I haven't. But that was also Warhammer stuff. Yes.
Oh, that is Warhammer stuff.
But
Okay.
I'm working.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm working on a different one right now.
That was seamless, by
but-
the way, man. Like that totally looked like you managed to get, because that's one of the hardest things is perspective between two completely different scales, and like you managed.
Oh, are you talking about the bird, or are you
absolutely-
talking about the cathedral?
No, I'm talking about the cathedral. So we're watching
yeah,
it on stream
cathedral,
now,
yeah.
where you're
Yeah.
spray painting this. You said this like Warhammer 40k
Warhammer,
cathedral
yeah.
thing, and then you're shooting it
Yeah.
at angles, and then you're bringing it in. So and this you just nailed the scale.
Thank
It's
you.
perfect. Yeah, 'cause that's definitely one of the hardest things is getting that focal length to
Yeah.
look accurate, right? When something's completely different sizes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So yeah, so I would photographed it, and then like you have to texturize everything, and of course edit out everything that's Warhammer, because otherwise it looks like it's Warhammer. So you have to clean it all up.
Yeah.
So I had to like spray paint it, then I had to paint it, like hand paint it, and then I had to like go in and texturize it, and then like of course blending it in post production and everything. So so I initially did try the harmonized filter, but I was like, it doesn't look like mine anymore. So I was like, all right, take a step back. But then, I was able, like I said, for elements, 100%, I will probably use it for smaller pieces in the image, because like, could I spend an extra 20 minutes making sure all the little pieces are exact, or could I just go like blip harmonize? Like,
Okay, so I mean,
at the end of the
so
day.
many filters, it gets you a decent part of the way there, but really it needs
Which
okay.
and I love that it exists. I think it's great. I think it's
Yeah.
awesome. So like let's like praise the Photoshop team and all the engineers around the world who are doing really cool stuff with software right now. Like this is like truly, I think, and I know that this is not a common feeling, but I honestly feel like we are actually in an artistic renaissance right now, because and we have been for years. Because like if you look at like the best in not the best of the world, because the best in the world is always the exception to the rule, right? No matter where you are, in no matter what field, they're not the rule. But if you look at like how good the average photographer's work was in the 90s, because I was there. I was a working model in the 90s and in the early 2000s, right?
Okay.
Like I got signed at 13. And so like when you look at like, the good work and the great work, not the incredible work, but the good and great work versus the good and great work now. Like we're doing stuff now
Good point.
that like we just couldn't have even visualized, right? And the thing that I love to like, even when people are saying, like, oh, well, this AI this AI that, I'm like, you do realize that like everything that we're looking at right now, it's never going to get worse.
Oh,
This
the
is
AI
the
stuff,
worst-
true. Yeah.
Or all of the software that's out there, right? Like everything that's out there, the worst version of it is right now, because like there are so many really, really smart people and really creative people and really like, intuitive, people who think outside the box when they look at like how to create software and how to create tools for people to tell stories with.
Yeah.
I think it's like so interesting.
It's a good
that,
point.
like,
Yeah,
these things are real.
I think the barrier to entry is minuscule now as well, right? You think back when we had to shoot on film, it was like cost as well as one, and then time to actually see the result is something else, and education, right? We were kind of working it out for ourselves, whereas kind of a lot of that is gone now, right? You can get like mirrorless cameras are practically cheating as is, with the electronic viewfinders. We got LED lighting. What you see is what you get with the EVFs. Like, come on, like if you can't take a half decent photograph now, guys, I don't know what to tell you, right?
But so what's interesting though is that has raised the bar
hugely.
Where it's like so on one hand the price has gone down because like like what we can charge has gone down because there's so many people flooding the market, but on the flip side the standard of what is acceptable good work is really high now because like like my grandmother before she died knew what Photoshop was. She didn't know how to use it, but she knew that Photoshop was a verb.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. True.
And so like what people will accept as good work, and this like with all the AI and everything, it pushes composite artists to be better because we have to be able to do stuff that the machine can't now. Right. And so like to this day, like if you try to type in like a Shibari mermaid into Midjourney, it still vomits. It doesn't know what to do, which is great. But what we need are more ideas that these machines can't think of and can't do better. Right. And so that is where like as a composite artist, I am constantly like I can't say that I'm really all that threatened by AI. Like, obviously it wiped out a huge swath of my work. Like there's no question about it that it was like devastating financially on a lot of levels.
Stock photography is another one that just got 100% tsunami'd overnight. Yeah.
And stock photography was on the way out anyways as well, but like still, I mean, like these markets do still exist, but at the same time, like I am just constantly inspired to just do better, right? Like I could let this like wear me down and be like, oh well, there's no point, there's no anything, and I'm like, yeah, but there's still ideas, there's still stuff out there, there's still stories out there waiting to be told. Like there's this Ukrainian artist, Photo Destruction. Do you know her work?
Maybe if I saw it, but yeah, not off the top of my head. No.
So she does. I think she's a teenager. Like I think she's really young.
Yeah. Is that her handle
like,
on Instagram?
Yeah, Photo Destruction. I think it's photo.destruction. Anyways, like she's an artist who's like, I will never shoot work like that. And also like, when I look at what I perceive the average age of the people that she's photographing, I think that they're all quite young as well. I think they're all just teenagers, like they're high school buddies or something.
I have seen this work. Yeah, 100%.
So good, right?
Are you trying to fucking tell me that this girl is under 20?
I think so. Like I don't actually know anything about her. I have no idea. I'm fully guessing.
I'm gonna say like, no. That's not true. Surely, that's wild.
I don't know for sure. Like I don't deep dive, right? Like I just look at the work and I'm inspired by it.
Beautiful colors,
colors, right? Great storytelling, like wonderful stuff. And like this is stuff that so far still the machines don't really replicate in the same way. Like that is a voice. That's a unique voice that like I don't have. And I love looking at it because like I will never tell stories like that. I have like a completely different, my view of the world is way more skewed in a completely different way than hers is. But it's exquisite.
That's why
stuff.
she must be young.
And she's not bitter yet.
Yeah.
But no, I mean like it's like work stuff, like that. I just love looking at it. I love everything about it because there's just this narrative there. And I know that so long as people like her still exist, there are still ways to tell visual stories that haven't been told yet. And so like I'm always pushing photographers and digital artists and composite artists like okay, the machine is another contender on the table right now, but they still can't tell those types of stories in those ways. And it's up to all of us to figure out what are the ways that we want to tell stories that are unique to us, that are our own unique world view, right? And I hate saying that like everyone's a unique snowflake, because on the flip side, 99% of like work out there looks like copyright stuff of somebody else, because God knows my work has been inspired from other people like Frank Frazetta, like, you know, painters and stuff. Like, people, when I mentioned the artwork that inspires me, everyone's like, oh yeah, I can see the inspiration 100%. But like, but at the same time, like there's still somebody out there that can tell these stories, and why can't it be you?
No, I think that's a beautiful sentiment. And look, I love hearing that, because I'll be honest, I certainly have been a little bit jaded the last couple of years, so it is fantastic to hear that coming from you. I'm
like weapons grade optimism on this stuff, because like I remember
good for you, man.
when,
Yeah,
like,
good for you.
Compositing came out. Compositing came out, and everyone was just like, "You're destroying photography," and I was like, "No, I'm making something new. Your photography will still exist."
I can
What you wanna
100%
do for
see how you
photography-
got so much conflict back then, for sure.
Oh,
yeah.
it was ruthless. It was ruthless, man. I got doxxed. I got like just like unbelievable amount. It was wicked for years.
That's interesting.
But I was just like what I'm doing doesn't take away from what you're doing. It's just different techniques. And AI is a huge disruptor in that for all of us, for sure. And we have to contend with that. But at the same time, it doesn't change the fact of what types of stories you want to tell and how you want to tell them. It doesn't diminish that. It is just a separate thing entirely.
Okay. Yeah. On that note, you talking about that, I don't know whether I've told you this before, but I remember when I was doing the like gel portraits like a long time ago, and people were fucking livid, right? They were just like, you have ruined that beautiful portrait, but with those silly colors. Why have you made her bright blue? You know, why is she bright pink? And I remember doing a demo once here at the photo show up there in Birmingham, and like people queuing up at the end just to go, you've ruined that photo. It was a beautiful portrait right up until you added the color. So it is kind of weird. You're right. Like, I think you do need to kind of be disruptive, and there's, like, the general public doesn't, or the audience doesn't really know what they want until they've seen it to a certain extent, and they've only seen stuff that they've, so they can only really appreciate and enjoy something that they've seen before. So I think if you are doing something a little bit disruptive, it can take time, for sure.
But that's fine.
It is fine.
Like, that's okay.
If that's what drives you,
time.
exactly.
The time's going to pass anyways. Like, whether it drives you or not, the time is going to pass anyways. So you can do the thing if you want to do the thing, or you can not do the thing, because it is also your life at the end of the day. But in my opinion, just like, to hell with it. Just like, do whatever makes you happy, man. Like, this is art at the end of the day. Like, if you want to take photographs of like little mushrooms and like turn like little things into big things, or you want to do macro, or you want to whatever, like, there's no reason why your take on something isn't just as awesome as somebody else's take on something.
And don't be afraid to make mistakes whilst you're doing it as well.
Oh my God, please screw up all the time. I constantly do.
And don't feel like you have to share it as well. I think that, sometimes people can be afraid to make mistakes because they feel like they have to share it, and it's like, you don't. It's fine. You can make those mistakes.
Oh my God,
nobody has to know about it. It's fine. There's plenty of shoots that I've tested crazy ideas that will never see the light of day, right? And that's 100%.
Okay. Straight up, I have fully tried to rip off your lighting style like 5 different times. Those photos are never going live.
It looks easy, right? It looks easy. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, no, because like it was an experiment. So like this is like how I teach myself, because I am notoriously bad. I don't like, typically for me, going to workshops is not really something that I enjoy doing, which is funny because I love being around people and I love learning with people and everything. But like, I'm not typically the one who likes to take workshops. I don't like watching YouTube or anything like that, but I love to like look at somebody's work and try to like just deconstruct it, because it's like, it's a fun experiment for me in my brain to be like, I wonder if I can figure this out. And I bet you it's not going to be how they did it. It's probably going to be like completely offside and an absolute disaster.
That's when you create something new.
Like,
but that's when you create something
That's
new,
exactly right.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. So, but like, that's what I mean. So like, I will literally set up shoots or like Photoshop projects or whatever that are like, fully copying Brooke Shaden, for example, right? I'm never going to post it. That's never going to go online. That's literally just like me having a thought experiment, being like, if I tried to think like Brooke Shaden, how would I edit this concept differently?
That's a cool idea.
Based on what I look at her work. Because I'm not watching her tutorials. I'm not looking on her YouTube. I'm just like looking at the work.
The images,
and being like, if I was to do this, if I was trying to make something to look like this, how would I do it?
Okay.
And then like, somewhere in there, I find a new process that like one little piece, right? Because the rest of it I don't need because I don't want my work to look like Jake Hicks. I don't want my
Yeah.
work to look like Brooke Shaden. I
Yeah.
don't want my work to look like any of these other people. But like in doing that thought process and doing that thought experiment, like I usually find something, one little piece of
Okay.
something that I can be like, oh,
Good idea.
that's really fun.
Yeah.
Out of like 30 steps, there's this one piece that I can like plunk in right over here with my own process.
Okay. That's a good idea, yeah, yeah. I hadn't really thought about that, actually, like copying somebody else's work fully with the intention of it just being a learning process. You don't need to share anything.
100%.
It's interesting, yeah, okay.
All the time.
Okay.
Yeah. I do it constantly. And like I
it's a
said,
good
like,
idea.
and gel photography has been like one of the hardest ones. And I don't watch your videos because I don't want you to tell me how to do it.
Yeah, right.
I want to
Yeah.
see like,
Yeah.
like what part of this, because like, I don't ultimately, like, I don't want my work to look like
I want to make
yours,
my
right?
own
Like my work
mistakes.
looks like
Yeah,
mine.
Yeah.
Right. But like, I want to be inspired by your work. And I want to see like what part of it, what part of like that one little piece can I like take out of that and be like, thank you so much for everything else, but this piece here is going to change everything going forward because it means that blank, right?
Yeah. Okay.
And that's always been like a big part of the process for me. Like it's, like I do think like when you're first learning, probably workshops, if I had done workshops, it would have saved me years off my career.
Yeah, but then you
commercially,
wount have learned that
but-
weird, wacky thing along the way. I think, it's
Yeah.
swings and roundabouts.
I think
yeah.
it's-
Yeah.
Yeah, like I mean, at the end of the day, like whatever process works for your brain, right? Like if you love to go to workshops, like go to workshops, man. There's no shame in that. Like I'm not shading anybody who likes to go to
no.
them, but it's just like it's always been for me such a fun process to be like, okay, so
Pull out all the
today
lights.
we are going
Yeah.
to try to rip off blank.
Yeah.
And and those photos never go online. They never anything. Nobody ever sees them. Like oftentimes they're self portraits because I don't want to waste anybody's time with images that like nobody's ever gonna see.
Oh, self-portraits. Okay,
Right?
fair play. Fair play. Okay.
Or like like putting up like a stuffed animal or something, right?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
just like
Yeah.
something, anything, right? To just kind of like experiment and
Experiment with,
play
yeah.
because like the point is to like it's a thought experiment.
Good tip. Yeah. Good advice. Yeah. Okay. Let me just check on the questions here. Let's have a look. We got anything? Hey, Kat. How you doing? Good to see you. It's last 15 years. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. Loving the F-bombs. We're as bad as each other. So, yeah, we're as bad as each other.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
I've been trying to keep a lid on it.
Same. I have
dropped
as
many?
well. I have as well. But apparently, yeah. Come back tomorrow and hate it every time. Look, that is Dalton. That is not. Yeah, everybody. We all work on something, especially like color
100%.
grading. Color grading is the worst for that. Yeah, and you just gotta hope.
That's why as soon as I'm done an image, I post it. And then if I come
Oh
back at the next
shit!
day,
You're one
I'm
of
just like,
those
well,
crazy people. God damn.
one of those.
Okay. Fucking
Yeah.
lunatic, man.
yeah, 11:30 at night,
That's-
I'm just like, and posting that, going to bed, and like waking up the next morning being like,
You should
God
be
damn it.
sectioned for that sort of behavior. That is wild. Yeah.
Because otherwise it'll never get done.
No,
And
no. Look,
have,
I
like,
know you're right, but
I have a lot
Yeah.
of shit to do every single day, and I just don't have time. Like I need to get it done, and like because I subscribe heavily to like done over perfect, even though like I love my images to be perfect, but they are perfect when I finish it to that when I'm at that thought.
Yeah.
Because I know that unless I'm feeling wobbly about it, so like the bird one, there's I painted a miniature of a bird, and then I like photographed myself, and then I photoshopped myself onto like riding this bird.
Okay.
It's on Instagram.
okay.
But anyways, the first edit of it, I was like, like pretty stoked on it, whatever else. And then I sent it to my partner, and he was like, the lightning underneath it looks like there's two little skinny little chicken legs, and I was like, shit.
Okay. Okay.
Because I was gonna post it, and he's like,
Damn.
nope.
Oh, it's worth.
And
It's
that
worth
was the-
hanging on to him then. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like the first time in like months where I was like, okay, I'll re-edit it tomorrow, and then I re-edited it the next day, and it's a completely different color scheme. It looks nothing alike. Like it's totally different.
Yeah.
I don't actually know if it's better. It's just completely different.
Yeah,
But
because
there's no little
people don't
chicken
see the
legs
before and
sticking out
after,
the bottom.
right? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's no like little legs, little lightning legs sticking out the bottom now, so
Yeah,
that part would have been distracting.
See what else we got here. Mandy mentioned. Yes, Renee did mention Mandy. I knew you were going to bring up that, Jamie. Yeah. I knew you were going to bring that up. So Vlad says
You're
I get back
welcome,
from the
Jamie.
bathroom and hate it. Yeah. So on that, Vlad was saying he goes away to the bathroom, not the next day, but he goes away to the bathroom, comes back and hates it. I would say that's kind of like for me, that's something that has kind of defined or let me know that I'm getting better, right? Is that distance between you loving it and hating it gets shorter, right? That sounds crazy, but if I'm loving it, I come back tomorrow and I'm like, not so much, I need to tweak it. That was what it was like years ago. But now I can kind of, get a cup of tea or something, come back, and then I can look at it with fresh eyes. And I think that ability to look at something with fresh eyes is kind of a skill that you kind of acquire over time. So yeah, you going away to the bathroom and come back and hating it, trust me, is a good thing. It's a good thing.
Yeah. That's a good thing for sure. I mean, the thing that I do if I'm really stuck on an image, because especially with composite photography, it's really easy to get stuck. Where you're just like, I don't know.
There's so many variables.
Composition.
You, right?
I don't know if it's
so
the element because exactly. There's so many variables. It's not just like a photo of a person.
Yeah.
In a location.
I can't go
like
back and change
all
the
these
pose.
things, and you can change everything, right? Because you can be like, oh, I can change out the pose of the different one. I can change out the shirt. I can change you can like literally everything you can change, which is great and terrifying.
You are right. Yeah, the composite thing has got to be a nightmare for that.
Yeah. So, but what I find is the best thing is like if I'm really stuck on something. Or I'm just like, I'm looking at it and have you ever like rub the fur the wrong way on a cat and they go, ugh? Like
right.
If I'm working on an image and it's giving me that like ugh feeling, but I can't figure out what's wrong with it, like I'm just like, I've been staring at it for too long. I'll like go to the couch or the bed or whatever. And I will literally just like close my eyes for 10 minutes. I'll throw a t-shirt over my eyes and just like lay down in silence. I don't put music on. I don't anything. And I just like defrag my brain for like 10 minutes. And I like put a pillow under my feet so that my blood flows back into my body because guarantee I've been sitting in this chair for like way too many hours and like my whole circulatory system is trashed. So yeah, and I will just like go lay down and like 10 minutes and then I'll get up and I will sit back down on my computer. And usually in that 10-minute window, like in that space between like awake and asleep, because you don't really ever fully fall asleep in 10 minutes. I don't anyways. I usually come up with the answer.
Damn. Pro strats. Get those feet up, apparently. Okay.
Yeah, and naps. Yeah,
naps,
definitely. Yeah. So I learned that the naps or the feet up thing from a cardiovascular surgeon.
Okay. Interesting.
Because I was like on the plane one day sitting next to a surgeon and I was like, oh, that's interesting. And he's like, yeah. So do you like to take naps? And I was like, I love naps. Like they're the best. And he's like, lift your feet up. And I was like, why? And he's like, well, because your circulatory system gets the opportunity to reset. And I was like, and I've held on to that for like 15 years. I was like, okay, I'm never forgetting that because like you would know.
Yeah, I mean, I can't do naps. I'm just a wreck afterwards for like hours. Yeah, but I mean, my wife,
just lay down and close your eyes and just let your brain defrag. You don't have to sleep.
Okay.
It's just like it's that practice of being bored.
This is why I miss smoking so much. Like as an artist, I miss smoking so much for that. Like you just go outside.
So good for that because
and plus you normally go out to the smoking area and there's other creatives out there going through the same stuff. And you're just like all talking through your issues. Yeah, it's good, man.
Yeah, it's super helpful. So like it's a similar process, right? Because you're removing yourself from the situation. You're like thinking in a completely different way, and you just like I think there's something that's one thing that I do think that is unfortunate is that we have lost the practice of boredom. And I think
it's
that
always filled in with something. It's true. Yeah.
Yeah. And boredom is where like my best ideas come from, whether I'm driving, because like obviously I'm not on my phone when I'm driving or like whatever. Like I just like I'm in the habit of I always play music when I drive as opposed to listening to a podcast.
Okay.
So when I'm listening to a show, I'm activating my brain. Whereas like I want to listen to the same playlist. And I want my brain to just empty for a bit, and just focus on what's in front of me. And I find that it is so useful to the creative process for myself is to just stop the shrieking of the internet from coming into my brain or like the stimulation from everything. Just like turn it down.
It's a good idea. Yeah.
Breathe, and literally just like. You can just like feel your brain chilling out for a second, right? And then like once the panic attack starts again, you're like, cool, time to get up.
Yeah, once the guilt sets in, yeah. No, I mean, exactly, I do that when I'm walking the dog in the morning. That's definitely my time to kind of defrag and try and put everything in order. No music, no podcast, just kind of thinking about stuff. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, super important.
Tip,
and that's what I mean. Like I when I'm driving, I always have the same playlist. Like it's always the same. It's always the same like 50 songs. So no matter what, because it's just my brain isn't thinking like, oh, what song is next? It knows, right? So it can just relax.
Yeah. Good tip. Let's see what else we got here. We got drink iced caps and shoot photos. The best plan. Okay, so you mentioned ice caps. Like, what the hell are they? Like Dalton is well on your wavelength with the ice caps, but I've no idea what that is.
It's a Canadian thing. It's a Tim Hortons thing. So it's basically an iced cappuccino, but it's basically just like iced carcinogen with caffeine in it, so you can drink it and be awake for 37 hours and you'll be fine.
Right. Damn. I mean, you've certainly piqued my interest. Yeah, I'm interested. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
come on over. I'll get you.
Right?
I'll get you hooked up. They're
Yeah.
cheap.
Okay. Still, how you doing? I gotta watch it, I guess. Let's have a look. I have to disagree here. Software and hardware is getting worse in lots of ways because companies want subscriptions. Yeah, subscriptions can be a bit of a bane. I think with subscriptions, I know that everything is like a subscription now. We can get onto that with Boris effects in a minute, but I know that you guys don't have. You have the option for both, right? You have just buy outright.
Yeah, we have the option for both. Yeah,
cool.
you can just like own it outright. But I mean, like on the flip side, if we look at how innovative and this is my opinion pre to working for Boris Effects. I've only worked for Boris Effects for a year, but this has been my opinion for like definitely the last 6 years, because like I've watched how much innovation goes into the software and how much money they're spending to come up with these ideas. Like admittedly, yeah, it sucks that Photoshop is charging us more, but man, they gave us like these incredible tools now that like,
right.
it didn't cost nothing to make that. So like, do I think that it's a good thing that, we as artists, collectively, we are putting the food on the table for thousands of people? I think there's a part of that that's actually kind of cool. Maybe that's just because like I'm Canadian and I think that like paying taxes so that my friends' kids can go to school, even though I'm never going to have kids, is a good thing. I don't know. But I do think that we don't have like, there's just so much more shit out there that's doing really cool, interesting stuff. And I'm okay with choosing where I want to pay for that. So it's like picking your streaming services, right? You're just like, oh my God, like I'm spending as much as I was on cable. It's like, well, you don't have to. You could just like get Crave for a month and then cancel it.
Switch, yeah.
And then you can get Netflix for a month and then cancel it. Like you are allowed to do that.
Right? Who would do that? Yeah.
Right? But you can, but you can do it. And my point is like, it's the same thing with software. Like, yeah, there's all these subscriptions, but like you can just get the subscriptions that you need when you need them, if they allow for monthly, and if they don't, then you just like figure something out, right? But like at the end of the day, you don't have to pay for all of these subscriptions. These are optional, right? But it is really cool that because of the fact there are so many subscriptions now, there are so many different options out there for software that work in all of our unique brainwaves, right? Because like there's lots of software out there. Like
before, like 20 years ago, it was only Photoshop. Yeah.
Right. That's 100% what I'm getting at, because like there was literally one train and one train only, and you were stuck on that train,
true.
and then all of a sudden like this one plugin comes out and you just like, I think it was like On One was the first plugin that I got. Where I was like, whoa, this does different stuff. And then I kept that for a little while, and then I switched it out to another one. And again, this is like 15 years ago, if not more. It was a while.
A long time, right?
Yeah, it's been a minute. But like, I just think that innovation, like I'm so interested in innovation, whether it and creative innovation, and engineering still qualifies as creative innovation in my mind, right? Like obviously, because the more these companies innovate, that means that the more different types of stories we can tell. And ultimately, that's the thing I care about the most, is that people, when all of these different technologies exist out there, all these different people can tell these different stories. Because like now, like for example, and this is a pro AI example, which is very unusual for me. But like there are people out there who have ALS, who can now tell visual stories that they weren't able to tell before. There are people out there who have like crazy amounts of disabilities who now have an ability to have a voice where they couldn't have one before, right? And I think that matters, because like I think when we look at being creative, all of us want to be seen, right? And like whether it's like by our moms or by like the vastness of the internet, or your small local community or your family or whatever, right? There's still, for a lot of us anyways, a desire to be seen. And these tools allow people who have no other way to communicate an option and an ability to speak for themselves. And that really matters.
Yeah. Okay. It's fair. Yeah, it's true. It's true. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I hadn't really considered that. People that can't, get out and do, bring those ideas that they have to life. That's true. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
like I know a guy with ALS,
Yeah.
and that's he loves creating stuff with Midjourney because
Awesome,
he lives in a chair, man.
Interesting. Yeah.
Like that's bleak.
Yeah, that's
right?
wild. Yeah,
like
yeah.
that's hard.
Okay. Yeah.
But now like there's software out there that allows him to express creatively. Is it the same way that the rest of us would? No. But if he had an able body, I bet you he would be doing stuff differently too.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
But he doesn't.
Yeah. And
right?
look, more,
So there's a
more
limitation
competition
there.
for Photoshop is good, right?
Yeah, 100%. Like, yeah, Photoshop, like, let's be honest, was stagnant for a bunch of years, and then all of a sudden, like, these other companies started like taking a piece of the pie, and
Yeah,
Photoshop's going like, uh-oh.
We need to do something. Yeah.
We got to figure this out. Yeah. And that's great. Like I am pro competition. I am anti monopoly. like,
Yeah.
like,
I know what you mean. Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, I don't know. I could rant for so long about this stuff at nauseam, so.
Let's just clear up any last questions I've got any here. Let's have a look. Brooke Shaden Love in here. Yeah, I actually looked at one of her pieces the other day. I haven't seen her work for ages, and I think she posted something again. So she's obviously been working away quietly in the background. Yeah, like again, she's just somebody that doesn't feel the need to share everything that she creates anymore. Which is cool. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same thing with like Kirsty Mitchell. Lots of her work is just like for museum only. Like it doesn't even go online anymore. And I'm just like, this is awesome.
That's nuts.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's great.
Yeah.
Super cool. Yeah. So you can only see like a bunch of that work like in person at whatever event that is going on. And I'm just like, not everything has to go online. Like we can just make stuff
Cool,
because
man.
we want to make stuff.
Yeah, I like that. Okay. Yeah. So since my change is directly proportional to the amount of wine I've consumed, the more wine the better. Okay, so you think so rather than giving your eyes a rest, have a glass of wine. Yeah, okay, I can see that. Yeah.
Whatever works. I mean, a girlfriend of mine, she swears by, because I've been working on an art book for the last like 10 years, but she swears by wine. She wrote her PhD just like ripped.
Wow, that's nuts. Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah, because like people take naps. I can't do that. I can't do anything after a glass of anything. I'm just like switch off.
I am not that person either.
I am
like
just,
you give me a glass of anything or a smoke of anything, and I am like on the couch.
Exactly right. Yeah, I am good to nobody. Yeah.
Not a high functioning altered state personality. Yeah. So
we got a lot. We got a lot of nappers in chat here as well, which is good. Yeah,
good.
Namely
Naps are the best.
My wife. Yeah. Forcing you to take breaks, probably the best thing about smoking. It is, Sterling. I know it is something that I definitely miss.
It's crazy though, right?
When I quit, because
like
at the studio,
it forces you to like get up out of the chair,
always.
The
studio, you'd be a bunch of
just
different girls and guys out there going through the same issue and that sort of stuff and talking through ideas. I've got a ton of jobs in my youth from being in the smoking area of a certain thing as well, because you're talking to
100%.
similar types of people. Yeah, it is weird, man. It is weird. Yeah,
and it's funny because like I have this watch and it tells me like get up, fat ass. Like even
oh really? You got one of those? Fair play
like
to you.
Enjoy having a cardiac arrest in 5 years. Like get up off your ass,
laying into you.
And like that's not gonna get me up out of the chair. But like if I was craving a cigarette, like I would get up and like every 2 hours I'm getting up and I'm going outside. And like
good times, man. Good times. Absolutely getting demonetized on YouTube immediately, but good times. Who doesn't miss smoking? Am I right? Like,
I mean, like I haven't touched a cigarette in like 20 years at least.
Oh, you're doing better than me. I'm probably coming up to 10 years maybe, but yeah.
I know.
I don't miss it every day or anything like that. I'm totally over it.
No, it's just funny those like little tiny habits, and I'm always just like oh, I wonder if like there's another habit that I could replace it with. Like 20 years later,
crack.
No. Like I even have like the Tamagotchi thing being like, hey, dumbass, you're going to die young.
Nice.
Like get up off your ass, and I'm just like, it's fine.
Yeah, it's the Asian in those products is like no messing around, man. They're not trying to sell it to you in a pretty way. It's just like
there's all these different because it's digital. There's all these different like faces that you can get.
Oh really? Okay.
And they have different personalities. So
nice.
you can get some of them are pretty savage.
Nice. I love the subscription model. Photoshop by itself costs £700 to buy. Yeah, Photoshop did cost an arm and a leg back in the day, right?
Yeah, well, that was the other side. Yeah, remember like Photoshop? Like
how much was
and
it?
that's in British pounds. So it was like it was almost $2,000 Canadian in the Canadian peso.
For those poor souls that bought it, all five of you. Yeah.
Yeah. But it was just like like, yeah, now I can actually afford to use this software.
No, you're right, and
right?
and that's what Sterling's saying here is, basically, or Dave is saying the subscription stopped me from pirating Photoshop, and you are right, Dave. Yeah, that is kind of when I you're absolutely right. Yeah, that is when I pay. Obviously, I've always paid for Photoshop, but I really paid for it, especially hard when the subscription model came out. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah. I have a talk for Adobe Max in October, and part of my talk I like cleared it with the guy who hired me. I was like, you do realize I'm going to talk about how, like, when I first got Photoshop and it was definitely maybe legit, but probably wasn't. And he's like, yeah, no, it's everybody.
Is everybody right? Literally, yeah. Like, who was buying that
He's
20
like,
years ago? It's crazy.
yeah, a 13-year-old is not paying $2,000 for
Yeah,
software.
yeah.
Like, we know that they flooded, and like, I was giving my parents' computer digital God knows what.
Oh yeah, digital gonorrhea or something overnight. Yeah, nice. Yeah, yeah, sweet. On that note, then, I suppose we really ought to talk about the main event of the feature film this evening, which is Boris FX. So let me just kind of give a little bit of... and if anybody's got any questions for Renee about Boris FX or about, her work or anything like that, then let me know and I will certainly pass them on. But yeah. So... Like Renee mentioned, she's been working for Boris FX for just over a year now. And those of you that don't know, I'll just bring it up on screen here. It is a very powerful like post-production tool that is... it's been in the movie industry for how long, Renee? Like Boris FX has not just optics.
30 years.
30 years. Okay.
30 years.
Okay.
Yeah. So Boris FX wrote the first plugin ever for Premiere.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm just looking at the website now and just going on the regular Boris FX. I mean, it looks pretty damn intense, right? It's pretty. You got some wire mesh stuff like CGI. It's wild. But Boris FX also have this plugin called or standalone called Optics, which is kind of more geared to us, right, as photographers.
Yeah.
And how long has Optics been a thing?
5 years, just over 5 years.
Okay, it's been a while.
So
yeah.
I found it a month after it launched. Actually, from Earth Oliver sent it over to me. He's like, dude.
Oh, Earth Oliver. Yeah, bless him. Yeah, I haven't heard it in a while.
Yeah. He was like, you got to check this out.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, sure, like whatever. And then I opened it, and it's the only plugin that lit me up the same way discovering Photoshop the first time did.
Okay.
It's the only plugin to do it. Like most other plugins, there's like one or two things where I'm just like, yep, I need you for that one specific task, and then we move on.
True. Okay.
But Optics, I saw like potential for images that like I knew in order to do it the other way was either extremely hard or impossible.
Okay.
And I was just like, this is bananas. And so I was hooked. Like I just bought it like right away that first month, and I've been using it since then. And then last year they sent me an email out of the blue, and they said, hey, we know you love Optics, you wanna come work for us? And I was like, peak looking after mom and cancer and stuff, and I was like, you know what, this is a perfect time to not be a freelancer right now. Like,
yeah, true. Yeah.
I'll try it.
Yeah.
Sure, whatever. Like let's see where this goes. And because I've always had like an interest in software. Like I've done a lot of consulting for companies over the years. I've done lots for Photoshop and other companies. I've done a lot of hardware consulting for like Intel and Razer computers and so on and so forth. Like on and on and on and on and on. Like I've worked a lot in tech over the years. As a consultant, and so I was just like, well, I've never been in charge of like a program before, like sure, let's just see where this goes. Like keeping in mind I've only worked for myself for the last 20 years, so like Godspeed to you.
So what's the elevator pitch on it then? Like who is Boris FX for? Because it seems, I mean, because we were just looking at some images then when you were chatting, and like you've got like the you've got the Terminator 2 being like models being made into the looking more realistic with atmosphere and sparks, and then you've got a girl, like a sci-fi girl, being turned into like a Ghost in the Shell kind of picture and that sort of stuff. So like super powerful, but like who is this for though?
Yeah, so basically, Boris FX Optics is the first and only plugin that is actually cinema level tools for photographers. So everything else is like emulating cinematic tools, whereas these are the exact same engines that are used in AAA films that are used for photographers.
Okay.
So like the tools that we invented for Lord of the Rings, for The Matrix, for Minority Report, for Oppenheimer, all those tools exist in Optics for photographers, the ones that are relevant anyways.
Sure.
And so so this is like, it's an incredible, so like this is one thing. So it is an incredible color grading tool, but admittedly, everything is an incredible color grading tool these days, right? Like great color grading is now the new minimum standard, in my opinion.
True.
Right? But these are made for the cinematic photographer in mind. But then on top of that, there's all of these other amazing effects. So the thing is that we do a lot of things and we do all of them really well. The only thing that we struggle with is because we do so many things is organizing it.
Yeah, so on the stream here, I think a year or so ago, before you reached out, I kind of downloaded the free trial and we opened it up here on the stream, and it's like, Jesus Christ!
It's a completely different UI,
right? Yeah. I need a PhD just to do anything. Yeah.
Yeah, so it is like, so the thing that is hard for optics users, new users anyways, is that Photoshop and Lightroom have a cultural legacy in them that optics doesn't have. Optics is 5 years old, right? And so everybody knows someone who knows Photoshop and Lightroom, even on like the most basic of level. But optics is new. Now, the tools that are in optics have been around for decades, but the UI is different because the things that we do are different. We do things that Photoshop literally can't and doesn't do. We do things that Lightroom definitely can't do. We do things that Affinity 100% does not do. Okay. And so as a result, the UI is a reflection of the fact that, like, yeah, we do a lot of really great things. It is a different ecosystem to learn, but once you've learned it, it actually goes really quickly. But it is like, there is a shock that I notice with most people when they open it where they're just like, I don't understand. And I'm like, that's okay. That's what I'm here for. I will help this make sense to you, because once you get it, it's so fast. Like I have images like that I have edited that would have taken me in Photoshop 90 minutes and I can do in 5.
Wow. Okay.
It's bananas.
Okay.
Yeah, it's wicked. So like, it completely changed the visual stories that I wanted to be able to tell. It changed everything about like how I was able to create visual images and like visual storytelling. And that is unusual for me because I'm always constantly looking for like, what is the next thing that's out there? What is the next piece of software? Okay. And this was the first time where I was like, oh,
because this can do so much, and we're going to have a look at that in a minute. But it is standalone or a plugin or both. You pay once and you get both.
Or so it's a standalone. It's a standalone or a plugin for Photoshop and Lightroom Classic.
Lightroom Classic, okay, yeah. The only Lightroom, thank you. Okay.
Yeah. Just clarifying.
Okay, so it's and when you subscribe, do you like or purchase it outright? You get both of those, standalone and plugin. Or
it's all included. Yeah. Okay. You get all of it. Yeah, that's no problem.
Okay. Yeah. So I suppose and look, just to preface this and saying like this is not like this is not me shilling Boris Effect. This is something that I asked Renee to come on a long time ago. She sent me a copy of Boris Effect and I was like, look, test it out. If you have any feedback, she wasn't asking me to shill it or sell it to you guys or sponsorship in any way. She was like, look, play around with it and I would like some feedback on what you think about the interface or whatever and give feedback on that. So, just to be clear, this is not me shilling it or anything like that. This is me genuinely being interested. Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah, I mean, I would definitely be paid for it, don't get me wrong, but I'm not saying I'm above that.
No, like I'm interested in people who like genuinely are interested in the software, and if somebody isn't, I'm also interested why, right? So like that's something that like that I'm always having conversations with people regardless of what level of artists they're at, whether they're new, whether they're experienced, whether they have like a workflow or not. I'm always interested in the whys. Why do you love it and why do you not? Like I want to know what that is, because sometimes, because as we know, like not every plugin is for you. Like there's, like I said, there are so many options out there and 99.9% of them are not for me, right? And there's a possibility that optics is also going to be that not one for you because something else is for you. But I do think that there are a number of artists out there that this software is for, and just nobody knows that it exists yet. And so like I actually have a genuine love for the plugin. Like before they hired me, I never told anyone about it because I didn't want anyone to know how fast I was getting things done.
Oh, I see.
It was like a total secret. Okay, it was like, because like, yeah, like I literally went back and re-edited 250 composites with optics because I knew that I could suddenly get them better because I'm
my
working on that art
God.
book.
Jesus.
And I was like, oh my God, now I can get them to where I wanted them to be. But I told nobody because I
funny,
was like,
man. That's
this
funny.
is my secret.
Yeah. I mean, and look,
But-
and we're going to get into what it can do in a minute, and it is very, very powerful. And you know, I've only just really dabbled in it. I've like done just tiny, tiny little bits, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, you know, I could probably, you know, we could bring this up on stream and have a play. And then I saw Renee working on some other images the other day, and I'm just like, I am definitely not opening that up, man, because I've barely got past the menu apparently, and I didn't even realize it. So we're very fortunate to have Renee doing this. And what she's done, I've actually asked her to pull out some images from the share a shoot from you guys as well. So maybe she can show us some wacky ways of playing with your images from the share a shoot as well. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's what I actually have pulled up here. So just a heads up to anybody who is watching, if I am editing your photo and you're horrified with what I'm doing, please know that this is not a critique.
They used to me doing that
is
to them.
not a-
Yeah, they used to me doing that.
Yeah,
to them.
this is not a how it would make your image better.
Yeah.
It's just like these are things that I could do with the software. You don't have to like it.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is just like it's a really fun experiment for me because like I normally have like a series of images that I will show people things that I can do in the software, but this is like I haven't seen these images before today. Before like right before we hopped online, and
Yeah,
so
yeah, true, yeah.
this is going to be like very very raw, very unfiltered, like noodling.
And look, guys, I'm in the same boat as you because she's pulled 2 of my bloody images that she's going to ruin. I mean, improve.
did.
You know, so you know, look, I'm right there with you. Yeah.
Oh, we're definitely going to improve yours.
Yeah.
Everyone else is so perfect.
Damn, it's getting roasted. Okay. Right. So when you're ready, you want to share your screen and we can have a look at what Boris is
Let's
doing.
do it.
Yeah.
Let's do the things.
Let's see if we've got any questions
play.
here. I was just setting that up. So Dave says I used optics for a lot of cinematic overlays. Let's have a look. Unless it's. There we go. Okay, sorry, just took a while to come through. It's all good. I used optics for a lot of cinematic overlays when shooting cosplay themes. Loved how easy it was to flick through the different looks. Okay, yeah. So and you can create your own looks and or you know, looks is their version of presets and that sort of stuff. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's so many things. Like legitimately to do like a proper full demo of this actually takes 3 hours. So we're gonna skim a bunch of stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
And if everyone's
my
excited about
ADHD
this,
just
we can maybe
couldn't handle that, mate. Yeah.
No, God, no, I wouldn't do that to you. But I'm just saying, if there's enough interest, we could probably do something
That's
again
true,
in the
that's
future
true,
where we
yeah.
can like fall down some really weird rabbit holes.
Yeah.
So whose image is this?
Good question. Yeah, whose image is that? Did we not get? Let me just have a look. Let's see. I'm gonna need to open up Facebook here a second. Let's find it. So we ought to credit the genius behind that shot first. Let's have a look. So comments, 25 comments. Let's see what we got. So we got the red dress, right? Is that the one you're looking at? It's from
red
Chris.
dress, yeah,
So
with the
Chris
veil.
Young, which is actually, I
Chris,
think, Chris,
nice.
you're in chat, I think. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, he's in there. Nice. Yeah. So let's just see what Chris has said about it. So promotional shot I did for a flamenco dancer show last month. Used 3 lights to set up optical spot for the key. Large umbrella with diffuser and fill. Small 8200 with barn doors in the background. Played around with a bit with exposure and color grading. Curious as to what you think and if I need a bit more fill light. Okay, nice one, Chris. Okay, let's have a look. See what Renee can do with this one.
I mean, to be honest, like this is just like a really nice image.
It
I
is
probably
beautiful
wouldn't
image.
do much to it.
Yeah,
But I was just like, well, if we're going to do stuff to it, what would we do? So I always duplicate the layer and I convert it to a smart object. So what the smart object means is that we can go back and forth into optics after we set the settings and we can adjust from there. So we're going to go to filter and optics. And again, I have not practiced this. So this is completely, you're going to see the squirrels in my brain going like bing, 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 bing. It's going to be a mess. Alrighty, I'm going to say apply previous filters and mask. I'm going to say no. So just a heads up. So first off, I'm working in the advanced workspace. This is the default workspace. It's not my favorite. The muscle memory is tangly for me. So I go into workspace and I go to advanced and I turn on by default, the filters are turned off. So you get this nice large workspace, but I turn on the filters. So now the layers are all over in the bottom right-hand corner, which for Photoshop brain like myself,
Okay.
so much nicer.
Already a tip that I needed. Nice. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. The other thing we can do is we can like reorganize all of these. If you were ever the type that like can't handle this organization, but you just want to move things around to what you like. And then we can also hit wrap filters here so that you don't have to scroll forever to the left and right. You can just wrap them around.
Okay.
Now, if we were to look at this and I'm like, okay, what would I do? I probably would go into, there's this light category here, and this is the gobo category. And the gobo category is like really pretty. There are over 888 gobos in here. And when we release the next version of the
Jesus.
software, I created another 75. So for 2026, there's going to be another 75 gobos showing up. But for kicks and grins, let's try this one. And let's do something. Again, this is not a critique of your beautiful work. I'm just like experimenting here, being like, what can we do? So let's try something like that. And right now, so I can change the blend mode from add to screen to subtract. So I can make these shadows if I wanted to. And then add is obviously the more contrasty version, and screen is less contrasty.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah.
I can adjust.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can adjust the brightness. I can adjust the blur, because if we zoom in on this, and this is an image I took off of Facebook, but the background here is quite sharp. So obviously I'm probably not going to blur this gobo too much,
Yeah.
but I will make it a little bit softer. So let's just try that. Now I want to do an easy mask. So this is the masking tools here on the bottom right, and easy mask is my best friend forever. So basically we're going to left mouse click and get the green lines where we want it, and we're going to right mouse click the red where we don't want it. And I'm basically just going to hit enter that quickly. And if we hit M on the keyboard, we can see the mask that it spit out.
Okay, hang on a second.
And it's basically
No. That's just black magic. What's okay? So what are you doing there? So you've just masked out by.
Yeah.
Can you do that again? So you just painted.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So
roughly
easy
on
mask
there.
is the best thing ever. I'm going to use it a lot today. So it's just this tool here. So we have all these different masking tools.
Yeah.
And just so you know, Easy Mask was created long before AI. So this is just old school math.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
Easy Mask.
Yeah.
Right? And then we can make the brush size bigger or smaller using the brackets on the keyboard, same as Photoshop.
Yeah.
And I will left mouse click to get the green where I want it, right? So that just wherever you want your effect, and then right mouse click where you don't want it. And then just enter. And then we hit M on the keyboard and we can see like,
That's
okay, well, I kind
wild,
of,
man. That's crazy.
maybe I don't want it here. So let's hit enter again and then hit M on the keyboard. And now we have that beautiful fall off.
Oh, I see what you've done. Yeah. Okay,
right.
you masked it. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Kept it off.
So like, what if we added that red in or something like that? Or like maybe we wanted to change it. Let's add some texture-y things. Patterns. I don't know. Let's see. We can also sort everything here. So let's go to textures. And let's see if we can find maybe that one. That one works. So I can make this bigger. So now it's going across the whole image. And I'm literally just paying attention to the background. So right now it's all over the stairs, which I don't want. So I'm going to go back into here and I'm going to just be like, no, I don't want you on the stairs, but I definitely want you there. So we're going to hit enter again and go back. There we go.
Okay.
What if I made this ad a little bit brighter? And then we blur this a little bit, give it some nice dappling. Okay, so right here we can see it's bleeding over here. So I'm just going to go here and be like, nope. Please go away.
And remember, guys, Renee just grabbed this image from Facebook. It's not like she's dealing with like a high res image there or anything like that. So yeah.
Oh yeah, this is as low res as it gets.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now I just like really quickly have this added.
Okay. So this is so this is kind of interesting because obviously all the fancy adverts that you see on the main Boris Effects page is like crazy graphics and wild sparks and lightning and that sort of stuff. But you can so use Boris Effects just to add a little bit of depth and interest to a shot without it dominating like the image at all, which is really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And so what's also fun here is there's a displacement slider. So I can displace this. I can use the displacement mapping so that it responds to the texture image data. So that, see how it's like wrapping around
Yeah.
this area here?
Yeah, I
So
can
if I
see that.
reset
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
this
yeah.
just looks flat.
Yeah.
But if I move this,
Oh, yeah,
see
yeah.
how it's reading this texture data?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So that's like very nice and very
Definitely. Yeah.
fun.
Definitely
So,
bedded in there. Yeah. Okay. Not just
yeah.
stuck on
And it
top.
works better, obviously, on like a high res image, which if we have time at the end, I'll just show you what it looks like
Okay.
on like full res. But let's try to go to grads and tints and let's pop into photographic. And let's say we wanted to add, let's see here. I mean, that pale yellow looks pretty good.
Right. The
Let's try this.
Amelie green and red vibe.
Yeah. Now, the nice thing that I love about this is that there's a
Okay.
preserve highlights slider.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So what this is doing is this is still allowing for the color to go across the image, but it's preserving the luminance qualities of your highlights. And then I can do exposure compensation because I'm worried that that's making it a little bit dark. Let's see. Let's find a different one. I think that 3 yellow is the nicest. So if I reset these settings to here, this is what this looks like. And if we look at the highlights on the skin, this just looks like I have a color on a soft light blending mode, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And then if I take preserve highlights all the way down, it's just yellow over an image, right? But if I take preserve highlights and I turn this up and then I take exposure compensation, look at how
yeah.
beautiful and warm those red tones are, but without sacrificing the luminance quality of her skin.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I can see that. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's really pretty. So if we compare this side by side.
Yeah. 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 Definitely. Okay. Hey, you're pretty good at this. You might want to think about. Yeah, just saying.
I'm just guessing here. 100%. All right. So let's do one more thing to this. Let's go to our diffusion and blurs and let's go to our mist filters. I love the mist filters. They're so beautiful.
Yeah.
So these mist filters were made to manufacturer's spec with Tiffin.
Oh,
So
really?
these will perfectly replicate exactly what Tiffin's black mist filter looks like digitally.
No way.
Perfectly. Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah. It's
Clever.
ridiculous.
Clever. Okay.
So, yeah. And then I can let's turn up the saturation a little bit, get those reds popping a little bit more. Because if I turn this off and I turn this off, it's not that interesting. I mean, obviously it's interesting, but I mean, from an editing standpoint, it's
Mm.
So if we go from here to here,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
right? This is starting to take on a more painterly effect.
And it's just so fast
this
to
is
get
starting-
there as
this
well.
is
That's
starting
what's
to
crazy.
look like a painting.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, this is fully unrehearsed.
Yeah. True. Yeah.
So if we go from here, let's add one more thing. I don't know how this is going to look on an image that I took from Facebook, but okay, that looks terrible, but that is okay. So we're going to turn this down and turn this down, turn this down. And I'm going to take the detail layer. I'm going to drag it underneath the mist layer. And then if I take this, so I can compare these 2 layers side by side. And obviously I don't want to make her look old because that's what often these detail sliders will do.
Okay, so just 2 seconds there,
I
Renee. So she on the right hand side there with these layers that you've got these 4 little squares next to the thumbnail. So you've got the eyeball, which is either on or off. What else have we got there?
Yeah, so basically what we have here, these are the view and compare. So I can compare these 2 layers side by side if I
that's how
wanted
you're doing
to,
it.
or I
Okay.
can compare
Okay.
this layer side by side. I can compare each one independently.
That's
If I want to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, and so that's and then this is the layer visibility here. This one here is to enable the masks, which we don't really have to worry about.
There's no mask on that
And
one.
then adjusting the parameters. So that's adjusting parameters here.
So you have to click that edit for that for any layer that you're working on, sort of thing, right? Or
Just double click. No,
or double click. Okay, nice.
just double click.
Nice.
It happens automatically. Yeah. So if you wanted to, though, if you wanted to look at the mist layer and adjust detail, I can click on detail and I can still see my mist layer on top.
Of course, yeah. Okay.
And I can adjust this independently.
I see. Yeah. Okay.
Right.
True.
But what I want to do is I want to bring out some of the detail. But admittedly, I don't really want to take out too much from her face. So if I go here and let's just create an easy mask and say, well, I want all of that detail in this red dress, but I don't really want it affecting here. Let's just see what happens. I'm fully guessing, but again, live edits. Woo. There we go.
How did you get it to think about it then? Did you just hit enter or something or what?
I just hit enter. Yeah,
Okay.
that's exactly right. So now, there we go. Go here. I can M on the keyboard, and now I can see exactly what that mask looks like.
Ah, okay.
So I think what this has done is a really nice job of giving me more detail in the dress while subtly, again, hard to probably see on
Yeah,
Zoom.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, I can
There's
I can
like
see it
just like
changing. Yeah.
yeah, very, very subtle work.
Okay.
And so before and after.
Clever. Okay.
Yeah. So if I go to the light, I'm going to say that's probably a little bit too distracting for me. So I would turn down the layer opacity. Because I just want it to be subtle. I don't want it to be like, there's a gobo on the background. Right?
I know,
I just
right?
want it
Yeah.
to be just like a little.
Welcome to
right?
photography.
Like the best work is just like a bunch of really small, subtle adjustments. And so if I like this, then I can just hit apply. And then we can compare before and after.
So that just gives you okay. So can you now edit that again, or is that you got to start everything again?
Yeah. So I can just basically double click on optics here on the right hand side.
And you can only do that if you've made it a smart object beforehand.
Smart object. Yeah, smart object is key.
Okay.
So there's only one scenario where we don't use smart objects, and that's if you want to export the mask. So let's say you've done like a really great easy mask, and you're like, I want to use that mask in my PSD for continuity purposes. You can do that, but that's the only time where you don't use a smart object.
Okay.
So here it says, do you want to apply previous filters and masks? I'm going to say yes, and then all my stuff shows up.
Ah, nice. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then that would be the same if you opened up, let's say Chris had another shot that was almost identical to this. You wanted the same thing. You could, if you opened up optics again, it would give you that prompt.
Yeah. So I'll just duplicate this layer, convert this to a smart object. And then I can go into filter, Boris effects, optics. And it's going to ask me, do I want to apply the previous filters and masks? And if you don't remember what you did the last time you opened optics, it's like kind of a gamble.
Oh, true. Yeah. What was I working on?
Yeah, exactly. So it's always kind of like, oh, I wonder what that was. So I can say, yes, apply the previous filters and masks, and it's going to apply it. But obviously, I'm going to have to re-render these.
I see. Okay. Clever.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
So
This
I
is
can
a
just go
cracking
reset.
image, by the way. Whose is this one?
This is great. Yeah.
this is
I
awesome.
feel kind of bad opening these up in
Chantal.
Photoshop, being like, yeah.
Shot for an
I'm
album
gonna, like,
cover,
noodle on
apparently.
these.
It's a collection of images
Oh,
I used
really?
Beauty Dish, Neo, Pro behind, variety of gel colors, umbrella in front. So we got a mix of flash and LED in here. Misfired, love this is a misfired. Wow, this is it. This is creativity.
This is it.
This is the
This is what I'm
mistake.
talking about.
This is it. This is
Yeah,
the album cover
I
that
love
was a
it.
mistake. Edited in Photoshop,
Yeah.
skin working in Photo, got most of the camera and then a bit of a punch. Would love to hear your thoughts can improve it. Yeah, this is awesome, Chantal. Yeah, this is awesome. Yeah, this is really,
Yeah,
really
this
good.
is great.
Yeah.
This is so awesome.
These buggers give me a run for my money every Monday. I dread turning them on, see what amazing work they've trying to show me up with. Yeah.
That's good.
It is
That's
good,
what you
yeah.
need.
Yeah. Whilst you open up the next
Yeah.
one, let's have a check some of these comments. Give me 2 seconds. So Chris was saying about, the image that you were just working on with the red dress, he says, I originally hoped to include gobos during the shoot, but the ambient light in the studio was so terrible, I never could see them, and it was taking too much time to test, adjust, and repeat. So that's kind of interesting. So he was actually trying to do that on the day of the shoot, trying to do what you were doing there, but for whatever reason, like the lighting and the environment, he couldn't make it work with the kit that he had. So this is cool, right? So you're able to go, right, well, I couldn't do it on the day, but I can now come back and actually play with it after the fact.
Yeah,
so that's
what's
weird, man.
what's
That's
really
crazy.
fun?
Yeah.
What's really fun about this is that you can load your own gobos. So if you have like a specific texture that you're looking for,
Okay.
just load up a black and white PNG. You can literally just hit browse and load your own.
If the 4,500 ones that there aren't good enough for you. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, I made 75 more for 2026 because I
Nice,
was like,
nice.
we need better. Well, not better, different. We have different. Like the things that I love for gobos are not necessarily in here. And I was like, well, I'm in charge of the program now, so I wonder if anyone else is going to like these.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, you got to have some perks, right? Yeah. So Jamie says a smart object integration is a must for me. That's another selling point. Yeah, that does look good. Yeah.
Yeah, this is professional software made for professionals by professionals. Like this is made for artists by artists. So
True.
like this
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
100% made with everything in mind that we can change and modify everything that's in here.
I'm glad just talking about The terrible images on Meta. So Sterling says, wonderful to see an expert using this software. The interface is not as intuitive for me, so very helpful. Sterling, isn't it? Right? I'm 100% there with you, because already Renee's brought the layers and stuff down to the right, where I had them over on the left there, fumbling through it. So yeah, even little things like that, super useful to see everything explained. Yeah.
Well, we do also have an optics essentials course, which everybody should watch and it's really fast. Each video is like 2 minutes or less. And there's like 13 of them. It'll take you no time at all.
Wow. She's directing that at me, by the way, not you guys.
Yes.
Yeah,
100%.
So since it's now, you might have another look at any discount codes. I have no idea whether they do any discount codes or anything like that, I'm afraid, Sin. But obviously, if Renee does,
if you were signed up for our affiliate link, Jake, then we might be able to hook you up.
Another burn. Another burn. Okay, yeah. So we'll see if you can get you a code. So see if we can get you a code.
Yeah. We'll figure you out for sure.
So Tina says, wish I knew about this software before I bought all the extra gobos. Yeah, true, right? Yeah, could have saved yourself some money on some real gobos and just done the software. Yeah.
I mean, admittedly, like, because I have an optical snoot, and like I don't use it as much anymore. I mean, there's obviously certain reasons why you use an optical snoot over anything else, because there is no replacing it sometimes. But yeah, for like textured backgrounds and stuff like that, yeah, I literally just use the light filter, because I'm just like, it's literally so much faster, because it's one less thing.
Yeah, gotcha.
Okay, let's see, what do we do with this one? Man, these are so good.
It's tough to improve on this one. You got your work cut out for you.
I know, I don't know how to make these better. Well, not better, that's the wrong word. I don't know how to change them in a way that is more aesthetically pleasing than what's already there. I feel like everything I do on these is just gonna make them like worse. Let's try Malcolm X. Let's see. Actually, The Godfather 2. Let's do that. All right. So what's cool about the color correction? So this is in the color correct tab. So there's color and color correct, and these are all movie looks. Okay. So these are all created, based on famous movies. So like obviously we made a bunch of stuff for Lord of the Rings. Here's Lord of the Rings. But here's The Godfather 2. And so what's really great about this is that there's master, shadows, midtones, and highlights. And the easiest way to describe you how this works is we go to the highlights filter, and I'm going to pick a color that is abysmal, like this blue. Now there's position and range. And so if we look at the range, so we're going to zoom in here. And again, this is a Facebook image, so we're only going to get so good here. But when we adjust the range, look at where the blue is going to. So we can very, very, very specifically color correct our images based on luminance values, and by customizing the range position ourselves.
Okay, so this is similar to blend diff in Photoshop?
This is way more mathematically complicated than blend diff.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll just shut up.
Yeah. Yeah, no. But like it's similar. It's a similar idea. Yeah. It's a similar idea as blend diff. But it's like blend diff's bigger, beefier brother.
Fair enough.
And then there's also position here, so we can fine tune both of these independently.
Okay.
So we can be like, okay, so let's say here, for example, we wanted to bump up the contrast and brightness on just these ranges, right? So this color is hot garbage, obviously, but that's not really what we're going for. So let's reset the color, and let's just go straight to the brightness and then the contrast, and just like bump up the contrast, and it's only adjusting the contrast within those ranges.
Okay. Yeah.
So obviously we have a color correction going on top of this because there's like a look that we applied. But if we reset these, so that's the before and that's the after.
Okay.
But because we can adjust the range, we can decide exactly how far. So when we move it quickly, you can see where that image data is coming from.
Yeah.
Right? So we can very, very, very easily and beautifully make the specular highlights and the luminance values in the skin more luminous. Like they have more shape, they have more depth, more like specular highlights that are only in specific areas. Because like I hate dodge and burning. It's like my least favorite thing. I hate it. But here I can just pick my range. I can pick my range of the position and the range, and then adjust the brightness and contrast in those two specific areas. And I can create those effects that normally I would have to go in and dodge and burn.
Wow. Okay. So this is like, I mean, because obviously dodge and burn is very not precise, right? It's just you painting with a brush. So this is okay. Interesting. So this is obviously going to be very precise. Yeah.
Yeah. Very, 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 very precise. So, and then I can also turn up like the saturation a little bit on it if I wanted to, right?
Yeah.
And I could like do just like the tiniest little bit of color correction. Although again, it's already perfectly color corrected, so it's not much I can do there. If we put up my images, then I'd be like, all right, we got so much to fix. Let's go. But I mean, like if we wanted to create like a little bit of separation, I could add like a tiny little bit of magenta and green into those highlights. And then I can go down here into the shadows, for example. And again, I'm going to pick a color that's awful. So here I can see all of the range information that's selected right now if I was to manipulate the color and the contrast. And I can adjust this. So now I see it's only where that awful blue is, right? These are the areas that I'm going to be affecting by color and contrast. So if I reset this awful color and I go, well, obviously I don't want to increase the brightness too much because that looks really good the way it is. But I could increase the contrast a tiny bit. Could maybe muck with the gamma, although the gamma probably looks pretty good as is. But let's go to the cyans. So see what's happening here in those tones.
Okay, yeah.
Right?
Oh, I see.
So if I'm going to add like a little bit of red.
So you're really targeting the color grade into a specific part or brightness or in this
luminance value. Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah. So again,
without
just like really quickly we go from there. Without any masking, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
And then I would just like reduce the opacity of the layer overall.
Okay.
And then we have from there to there. And then like, because I'm that person, I really do love these mist filters. So I probably, actually, let's try a halo filter. Let's try that. Okay. All right. Let's get weird with this.
Yeah.
Let's try an easy mask and be like, okay, I actually want the easy mask to be all over here, but I don't really want it to be on these more luminant values of her. So let's just hit enter and see what happens. Oh yeah, that's fun. Okay, let's refresh that a little bit. Enter. So that's what our mask looks like.
Okay, so it knows that you're trying to go for the luminance value with that. That's interesting.
Yeah, and then so now if we turn that on and off.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Perfect.
And so now what we have is this like really
creamy background now.
Like
it's
we put
nice.
in, yeah. Like I don't know if I would do much more to this because it is just like it's just really nice.
Yeah. No, that's fine. Yeah, I mean, because that was useful to look at how you can adjust the color of a luminance. Really like that. It's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, like maybe we can. Let's see. What if we try like a green and then we like. So the other thing that's nice is we can drag masks. So I can just like drag this mask up here onto photographic.
Okay. You just drag it up there and it knows. Okay, cool.
Yeah, click and drag. Yeah. And so now I have this like really nice green. See, that's nice.
Yeah.
Although I feel like he's watching it and he's like, you're losing all of the color detail that I put in the top. That was so much work. And I'm like, yeah, let's make it green. But yeah,
that's cool.
Again,
yeah. I mean, look, like I just said, it doesn't, you don't need to use this thing like a sledgehammer, right? You can just come in here and tweak the tonal, and tones and colors.
Subtle.
Yeah. Stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the biggest thing that I always tell people. I'm like, like all of these effects, like they look really heavy-handed, but if we don't make them look really obvious what's going on, then you're not going to know what the effect does, right? Like you have to be able to look at it.
Yeah, because like you were saying, you can't really see on stream, and you're right, you probably can't, but in the actual image, you'd be able to see it as well.
Yeah. Like I don't know if this is showing up on stream. It's all
about all the little things adding up to make a big difference, right?
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah, it's lots and lots and lots of like really tiny little steps.
So Chris says here, could you save a TIFF file with the data intact with a smart object to adjust later?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yes.
Okay. So what you're saying is once you save this out, that whenever you double click that layer again, it's going to open up and do the same thing.
It'll load up. Yeah, it'll always open up. And then you basically just say, do I want to apply the previous filters and masks? And you say yes, because you're opening from a smart object.
I will say on top of that, you can just save as a look, right? Yeah.
That's exactly it. That's exactly what I was going to say. So there's two things that you can do. So we're going to say yes, save the previous filters and masks. So there's two things that can happen. One of them is like, let's say, for example, with photographic, we wanted to pick our own color. So let's say we wanted to pick like a more luminant green, something that wasn't quite so dark as the other one. And we hit OK. And it's preserve highlights and exposure compensation are there. What we can do is we can save this. Same thing if we go into color correct or any of the other effects where there's a bunch of adjustments, you can save that specific preset. So we can go create custom preset with that little piece of paper. Photographic, let's call this green Jake Hicks. Oh my God.
My favorite color.
Jesus.
You knew, Renee. Yeah, green. Love it.
So we're going to call this green Jake Hicks. Now, green Jake Hicks now is going to exist in this, and everything is listed alphabetically. The other thing that we can do is we can save all of these steps as a preset itself. So it's as called a look. And so basically you just go File, Save Setup, and we're going to call this Jake demo and go save. And then I want to import it. And we go File, Import. We go Jake. I have so many of these made. I have hundreds. And it's going to ask add or replace or add to existing looks. And I'm going to go say add. So now when I go to looks category, I have a bunch of these here.
Oh my God.
I have so many. And this is nothing. I have actually hundreds. I clear it out every now and then just to like
Jesus. Yeah. Okay.
just to flesh it out. But it is alphabetical. So then we're going to go to J, K, H, I, J. There you are. Jake demo. But like these are some of the other effects that I've saved over the.
Okay, yeah, you can it's instant as well. There's zero lag on that. You just
zero lag,
yeah.
Absolutely zero lag. Yeah, it's gorgeous. So that's like basically the two ways that you can organize it, and that's really nice.
Okay. What else we got in there?
Let me see here. I'm just waiting for Photoshop to finish thinking. My computer sometimes is like, oh my God, are we trying to do Zoom and
I know.
Why?
Yeah, I'm amazed this has lasted as long as it has. Yeah. Let's see what else we got here.
Let's try this one. This one's beautiful. There isn't much that I would do to this at all. Again,
oh wow.
Like,
okay. This is cool. Let's have a look. Whose is this one?
Isn't it beautiful?
Sweet. This is from Terry. So Kira cosplay from a few weeks ago. 5 p.m. sunlight in the woods. Color temp shifted. 1 AD 300 in a strip box. 8200 CTO stacked with pink gel on top. Black mist filter on the lens. Red eyes are contacts. The model wore intentional overexposure for a bit of Twilight vibes. This is awesome, Terry. Really, really cool.
This is great.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, these are all great. There's like, you have no slackers in your group. Which
buggers.
So let's go into optics. And like there's one effect here. This is one of our most popular filters in the whole plugin. We have people who buy the plugin just for this one effect.
Okay.
And when I saw it, I was like, ooh, yeah, I bet you this would look really cool. So it's under light.
Yeah.
And it's called S Ultra Glow. And basically what this is we created this for Lord of the Rings.
Oh, yeah.
And this is the effect that they use to make Sting glow. Yeah. So what we can do is we can adjust the threshold. Lillian Liu loves this filter as well. She's a big fan. But we can again, we can hue shift this.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Okay.
So we can get this kind of matching nicely. And again, just like very subtle.
Yeah. Clever.
Clever, like
that's
just
yeah.
Very pretty. And then we can adjust like the glow width, right? So we can make it really wide or we can make it quite narrow.
Oh,
we
how
can
fuzzy
adjust the
and
glow
furry
fall off.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So you can keep it nice and close to the body, or you can have it quite wide.
This plugin is so responsive. It's wild, man. Like, do you know what I mean?
Instant.
I know I'm old AF, but I mean, I know stuff used to go away, make a coffee, and come back if you want to generate a lens flare. Fucking wild.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just
that's
crazy.
Exactly right. Yeah. So it's really, really, really easy to adjust. And then of course there's like afterglow and all this other stuff and like edges. Like we could go here and like go to like this discotheque one here
Okay.
and just start like noodling around with all these because like these are all the presets, right? Like all of these exist as
Right.
well.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So
But I
they're the
honestly I just like to
internal
go.
looks over there on the left, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So these all come with it. But yeah, I just basically go in here and start like noodling around with this. Let's make that blue again. Yeah, that looks nice. So yeah, that's pretty much what I would do to that one. I think the only other thing that you could do if you really wanted to get weird with it, which again, this image doesn't really call for, but like let's just do it
Yeah.
anyways.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's this thing here called particle illusion. And so what's fun about this is there's all of these effects here. They're basically like, stamp effects that have all of these different aesthetics around them, right? So we can like move things around and like make all these pretty little effects like so. Again, hard on a JPEG saved off of Facebook, but
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
But what's really fun is that in the 2025 version of the software, we decided to make like one of the most advanced brush systems that exists. And we were just like, well, we have all these things. Let's do some cool stuff with it. So let's take this like dot energy trail thing, and we could just pull this brush kind of to where I want it.
What?
Yeah. And then we can like move it. The thing that's fun about this is that this runs on a timeline here on the right-hand side.
Oh.
So we can adjust exactly where we want it.
Oh. Interesting.
Yeah, it gets like really nerdy. And then like you can just like click through all of these different
Oh, the trail that you
effects.
made. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because you made a path.
Path. Yeah. Yeah. True. Yeah. In real time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wild. Yeah.
So it's like it's super nerdy and it's very niche, but I love it.
Oh, clever.
And
Yeah.
what's
They've
really
got the light
fun is
trails
like
and
right
stuff.
now
Yeah.
because it's on top of Ultra Glow, but we want it to glow, we can just click and drag it down and then put it on underneath Ultra Glow and now all of a sudden it's glowing.
Oh, with the trail. Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah. True. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I could just like make this glittery like
Gotcha.
fairy
Okay.
thing.
That's clever. Like
Yeah.
physically drawing it in, and you can. Yeah. Then it actually has a timeline on the right there. That's nuts.
Yeah, yeah. Timeline is up here. I mean, there's lots of parameters here that you can play with. This is the most GPU intensive part of optics is the particle
I
illusion
could see that.
system.
I could see it was just like, please stop. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, especially while doing zoom. But here we can like change the color really easily. So again, we can make this like a nice pink or something like that to go with her eyes.
Nice. Okay.
But yeah,
Just so
so
quick though, isn't
all
it?
of
That's what I
those,
mean. Like to do all these things, it's just so quick, instantaneous, just straight in there.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So then we can go to apply. Um, and then again, I don't think the sparkles need to be there, but
I know, but yeah, it's just
I
you,
can
you,
just
you're
like,
just showing an effect. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. But I think like the glow is really soft and pretty on it. It's like before and
The
after.
glow is definitely subtle enough that it doesn't look out of place at all. Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like basically like it works really, Ultra Glow works beautifully when you're shooting with a blackness filter already. Because you already have that softness, right?
True.
You have
True.
that
It doesn't look out of
atmospheric
place.
depth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So it sits very nicely.
And that's
It
what he
works
said,
really
right?
well.
He said he was using. He said he was using
Yeah.
the blackness
Blackness
filter.
filter.
Nice,
Yeah.
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 All right, Jamie, your image is trash. Just kidding.
Move on. Move on. It can't be saved. Can't be saved. Yeah. So Dave says he uses the cinema. I'm sure I saw Dave talking about the. I use the movie looks so many times for my pole shoot bookings. Love the looks for these. Okay, so he's saying he's using the movie looks in there as well. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I love the movie looks are awesome. My favorite thing to do is going into the movie looks and then just turning up the saturation. I will leave everything the same and just be like, bam, saturation up, and I'm
Okay.
like, oh, so
Okay.
nice, so nice. Yeah, like I know it's funny because like with movies with cinema, the default is for there to be like some desaturation, but in photography, cinematic photography, it is often more saturated than less saturated. So the rules for cinematic portraiture and cinematography are similar but not the same.
Okay. Yeah. We've got Chris here says, in terms of workflow with this suite, do you find yourself doing much color correction grading in Lightroom, Capture One, before bringing it and opening it in Optics. So I think Chris is saying there, do you do everything in here, or are you getting your image pretty much squared away in Lightroom and then bring it in here?
I mean, it depends what I do, what I want to do with the image. So I get myself like so I get my skin work done.
Okay.
I do that basically like right away. I mean but that's always, even when I'm building a composite, I always do the skin work first, right? Like that's just part of my workflow, is like step number 1, skin, and like whatever unnecessary cleanup of hodgepodgey stuff like flyaways and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I always do all that cleanup first. So that means I am getting myself to like a basic color correction, where it's not neon blue anymore if I don't want it to be neon blue. And then from there I take it into Optics.
Okay.
Yeah, but it ultimately also depends on what it is that I'm doing with the image, right? So am I working with particle illusion and I just need like a couple of elements put in first?
Or is there skin
right?
that I need
So,
to work
like,
with? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So like in this case here, like for example, let's say I wanted to do particle illusion. When my computer's done pitching a fit, there you go. So let's just take this for example. So let's say I just wanted this like on its own, but I didn't want it like on the rest of the image. So I wanted to make sure I was going back into Photoshop with a singular piece. So then what I'll do is I'll create a new layer. I'll go to color and I go to the color tab and I grab a black layer and I click and drag this underneath PI, my particle illusion layer, and then I just hit apply, and then I put that on a screen blending mode when I get back into Photoshop.
Oh, yeah, true. Yeah, nice. Okay.
Yeah. So that's so like I use Optics for a lot of different reasons, right? For a lot of different tools.
Yeah, clever.
Yeah. But let's get rid of that. So right click, delete layer. Okay. Jamie, what are we going to do to you? Let's go to photographic.
Oh, mate, job done. Save.
Yeah. Let's hit that preserve highlights slider though, and a little bit of exposure compensation. Let's go to like nice. One more. Yeah. Let's go to the light leaks category. Light leaks. Let's see here. What do we have?
So Dave was saying these effects were responsible many times for what was supposedly a 2-minute edit becoming an hour long as I fell down the rabbit hole of trying different effects. It is true, man. I know. Yeah. It can save you time once you know what you want. Yeah.
Once you know what you want. Yeah. But the rabbit hole is deep. But I mean, deep, it was like that learning Photoshop, man. Like,
right.
When I first got Photoshop, like it was like daunting. There was so much to learn.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
I wouldn't want to be a new person opening up Photoshop now.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Because we grew with it, right? Over 20 years.
That's exactly right. I talk about this all the time, is that it's like, like trying to teach myself Photoshop in Photoshop 7 was nothing like trying to learn Photoshop
I know.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a totally different animal. But yeah, so let's see here. Let's like noodle with some of these colors. Let's go you. Let's go you. No, let's you. There we go.
Hey Sean, how you doing? Another optics lover there. Sean says he loves using optics. Okay, bunch of people here already using it. Nice.
I do love hearing that people like using optics. It's always fun for me. Let's see. Let's reduce that opacity a little bit. Let's take another layer here. What do we want to do? Oh my God, there's so many things. Let's try Magic Sharp. So the thing that I love about Magic Sharp, and again, this is going to be hard to see on like a JPEG image from Facebook.
Yeah.
But I'm going to over sharpen the life out of this. What's great about this is there's a sharpen threshold slider. So I can push this along and we can see exactly where things are being sharpened now.
So like the highlights there and yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So we can push this all along here. So I like to sharpen largely like my specular highlights and things like that. And then I'll just turn down the sharpen amount. So now what this looks like is before and after. So see how that's bringing out all those nice highlight details.
Yeah, see, I would typically do that manually in Photoshop, masking
it's
in
so
all
much
of
work.
Those.
Yeah, literally sharpen amount threshold, like done. It takes no time. And you can literally save that as a preset so that you can just like have that in your sharpen folder where it's just like Jake's sharpening, like, and you just apply it. You don't have to like change it every time. But there's also detail tuning. So this is what's crazy. So this is, this gets spectrumy, but it's fun.
She's Canadian. She can say
so
it.
We can,
like she can say it.
So there's fine. We can sharpen by the fine details, small details, medium, and coarse,
Yeah.
or we can sharpen by the luma, chroma, red, green, and blue channel
Jesus.
independently.
Yeah. Wow.
That's bananas.
That is.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah. Like, but I mean, like that. Admittedly, that level of sharpening is for product people.
Right. Yeah. Good
Right.
point. Yeah.
Portraits, we don't usually need to worry about that much. Like basically, we can just like slam this into like sharpen amount
That's
threshold.
kind of
like
my
we're
pace.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like we don't have to overcomplicate it, but like all those channel tuning and everything, like that's for like really like weapons grade landscape shooters and product shooters, like where like all those little tiny details are like so important. But portrait photographers, sharpen amount and sharpen threshold, we're good.
Nice. Okay.
Let's see here. What else can we do? Let's try diffusion. Ooh, that could be fun. Okay, so diffusion is different from light. But let's try this. Ooh, there we go. Let's add a color. I'm like totally murking all of the original colors that are in here. I'm just like, oh, these are your colors. Let's do the exact opposite.
But one of the benefit of there being a bunch of colors in there already is that it doesn't look out of place when you start playing around with other colors and stuff. If it had been a neutral image, it would have looked odd, but yeah, it definitely works.
Yeah. So I think that this spot here is getting a little bit hot, so I'm going to create a paintbrush mask.
True.
I'm going to invert the mask, which is very handy. This underneath willow, invert mask, underneath window. I can speak, it's fine. I'm going to make my brush big, and then here is the brush opacity, so 0 and 100. So let's take this down to like 25% and just reduce that hot spot there.
Where's the softness on that? Because that brush looked... Is there a way to...
Right next to it.
Oh, there it is. Okay, nice.
Yeah. So I've just like very gently knocked down that one hot spot in the corner there. And then I can do the same thing. Like, you know, I like that little bit of brightness on her forehead, but not that much. So let's just like take that down just a little bit. There we go.
Okay.
And again, this is like just noodling here. I don't know if I've made anything better on any of these.
I think they're both equally as good. I love them both
It's
equally.
just different. I think it's just like another take, right?
Yeah. It is a cool shot though, Jamie. Very,
yes.
very cool shot. Yeah, I love the colors in that.
Yeah, this is super fun. Yeah. And like total mega babe, great outfit and everything. Yeah, this is fun. So let's see, let's go for one more and let's go to the film lab. Let's hit up film effects. Actually, that one's not bad. If we like turn down the opacity on it, and let's see here. Let's play with the.
So what is it you're doing? What's
There
this?
we go. Okay, so this is the negative film and print film. This is again.
Okay. It's actual film
spectromy.
stock, right?
Yeah, actual film stock. Yeah. So there's the negative film and the print film, so it applies differently. So then there's like glow brightness, so we can like add some glow in here if we wanted to. I can like reduce the soft focus look if I wanted to as well. There's grain details. Okay, so this is where it gets real fun. We can amplify the grain information based on the red, green, and blue channel independently, and the darks and the brights independently, and the midtones. And we can change the positioning of the midtones as well.
Vlad,
And then we can blur
Vlad,
the
I hope
channels
you're still in
in the
chat.
same.
Vlad, we have a guy in chat who loves like grain. He just goes wild for grain. Surely that
well,
that must be enough for him.
Oh my God, we
That's
literally have a
crazy.
whole category. We have
That's
whole categories just for
wild.
grain.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's nuts.
Yeah, so like if we go into, let me see here. I don't use it as often as I should. There it is. So it's grain and ultra grain. So
I saw
for
those
the
two
grain
ones
lovers,
before, yeah.
there are two. Yeah. So S ultra grain. Here we have the exact replica of the Canon EOS C300 noise profile.
Okay.
EOS R5 noise profile.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like for myself, if as a composite artist, if I'm using like 3D elements or like, you know, AI pieces, for example, right? And you're like, I want to put in these pieces, but they inherently don't have noise. They have no image noise whatsoever. So when you go to print it, it looks super weird.
Okay.
So if I was to start building in those elements, what I would do is I would go to the Canon EOS R5 and I would make sure that that element before I composited it had the noise profile of my R5. So that once it goes to print, everything looks the same.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, because like
Okay.
if you're just seeing it on Instagram, no one's gonna ever notice,
No,
right?
no,
But like
right. I know.
my client work prints big, right? Like
Yeah.
the largest print I've done was like the back of the Smug Mug stage at in New York,
Yeah.
and it was like 60 by 40 feet,
Holy
and
shit.
it was
Yeah.
huge, and it was a composite. I was terrified. It was like one of the hardest composites masking jobs I've ever done in my life, and I like ran up to the stage and I looked at it and I was like, oh my God, it's perfect. Thank God.
Okay. Yeah.
Because if
Nice.
there's a mistake, it's gonna be so obvious. It's
So
the back of the stage.
yeah.
Everyone's gonna
Right.
see it,
Yeah. That's nuts.
right? It'd be
60 by
the
40
worst
is
nightmare.
huge. Yeah.
60 by 40 feet, huge. It was
Yeah.
massive. So yeah. So anyways, these noise profiles are extremely handy. They're beautiful. They print gorgeous. And then like, you know, these are just like some more, again, these are all like film words. If you don't come from a film background, you're just like, oh, random numbers. Just leave it at random numbers. You don't need to know what they are. It's fine. Um, but again, everything here, the parameters are different
Yeah. If you want to go
of what you
deep,
can
it's
change.
definitely there. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Like
Highlights,
this
midtones,
program is
shadows. Yeah. Everything's in there.
yeah, it's wild. So like this program was legitimately made for the people who opened up Photoshop and went, "Oh, yes," as opposed to the people who opened up Photoshop and went, "Oh, no." Right? Like
Yeah.
optics is the same kind of brain. Like if you opened up Photoshop and you were like, "All I see is possibilities," optics has like a similar vibe. But yeah, like admittedly, if I was to completely color shift this
Yeah.
to exact opposite colors.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so
Jamie,
we've been
what I
doing
would do.
some subtle bits here. Well, I guess we did have the fairy glitter trail a minute ago, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You
Oh
wanna
yeah,
do some
yeah,
like wild
yeah,
stuff?
yeah. I want to see what we can do with this one. Yeah, yeah. Awesome. Let's just have a look. This is so let's have a look. Who shot this one? So this is from Tony. Tony says this is cosplayer's 40k Space Wolf costume at our local Geek Markets event. It was so awesome. I had to do something with it. Yeah, this is crazy,
Yeah, this is
man.
great.
Yeah, such a
Yeah.
cool outfit and such a cool shot as well. And yeah, really good stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, this is fun. So we're gonna duplicate this and convert it to a smart object as is tradition. All right. And filter optics. So yeah, we can get into here and we can do some super fun stuff with this. Like we don't have to be subtle.
True. Yeah, yeah. Not with this one.
All right. So first things first, let's go to there's a smoke and fog category. And this is going to be harder because of our background. Actually, first things first, no idea. Hold on. Let's go to high contrast. And let's say like here, but let's mask out our subject. So I'm going to say, well, I want it on the background because I want this to be just like a little bit darker. And then I want this to be brighter. And at first, this is going to look terrible, but I promise you,
Okay.
I think it'll make sense. Again, having never practiced this image before, there we go.
Okay.
Pow.
Okay.
Okay, now. All right, that's our high contrast layer. And let's see. You know what? Let's put a little bit, let's erase that because I think I want the feet to go a little bit darker as well. So we'll go back to here. Be like, actually, we can let that get darker. So if we hit enter, there we go. All right.
Okay. So you can modify
Now
that
we're going to be able to
mask.
see,
Okay.
huh?
So you can actually modify
Yeah.
that mask using the same smart, easy thing. Okay, clever. Yeah.
Yeah, easy mask. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All the tools are up here. So there's the erase, and then there's like selecting your subject and selecting your background.
Okay.
I just say painting the foreground. It's just where you want it and where you don't want it. Green is where you want it. Red is where you don't.
Gotcha.
So anyways, so now we're going to create a new layer and we're going to go to diffusion and blurs. We're going to go to smoke and fog. And so let's pick the steamy one here. And this runs on a timeline.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah. So like we can say like, well, I don't really want all that smoke in front of their face. So
So kind
let's
of
try
wait.
moving the timeline.
Yeah, yeah.
And then we can also move the coherence as well. There we go. So that cleared out in front of the face. And then we can change the color as well. So let's try like there. Let's try that. Down for that. And then we can also change the sprite of the smoke, which is probably going to be like less obvious here, but we can see how the sprite changes.
Okay.
So the texture of the smoke changes.
Is that the technical term for the shape of smoke? Sprite?
Sprite. Yeah.
There you go. Did not know
Yeah.
that.
Well, because these are 3D. These are created from 3D,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
So then they all these things inherently start with a sprite.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So we can adjust the density as well. So we can make this like super dense or not. We can adjust the scale of like how big we want the smoke to be versus not. There's also fog as well, which I'm not going to get into here because it also runs on a random seed. And then there's prism effects as well, but we're going to add those later. So let's go smoke and fog. Let's just call that one good. So if we go before and after right now.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Now let's go into, let's make some lightning because that would be
That's
dope.
what I'm here for.
Let's add some super cool lightning in here. Nice. So all of this is obviously fully adjustable.
Clever. So you just clicked on that one look Ultra Zap preset down there. It gave you this curve, and then you adjusted those points on that curve.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So let's just try it like that. Now, this also runs on a timeline.
Oh, yeah, nice.
It also has a number of bolts. So we could have like lots of them or not very many.
Yeah.
We can adjust the color. So it can be like, we can adjust the bolt hue. We can make this pretty wackadoodle if we wanted to. The other thing that's nice is we can adjust the blur. So we can like feather it so that it'll match the aperture, because inherently things that are made in 3D are always going to be sharper than anything photographic.
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm just going to add like a 1 mark of feathering onto it. Yeah. But this is not the right, let's see here. There we go. I'm going to say this is not I forget the name of it, the Sisters of something that they have all the pink in Warhammer.
Oh yeah, is it Sisters of no, I don't know. You're right. I do know the faction you mean there.
Yeah. So let's say we want it to go behind the upper body, but in front of the lower body. So we're gonna hit enter, and just like that, again, that mask is made. So it's so quick.
But you could have used the old mask as well. You could just dragged it up, right?
Totally could have copied it up. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
100%.
Nice.
But sometimes it's just I just forget.
I mean, it's so quick,
also change
right?
how. Yeah, I can change how branchy I want this to be.
Okay.
I can change the branch angle.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So we can just like have this like lightning going everywhere just because.
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah. We can do so much. Okay, so let's go one more from here. Let's go. Let's see. What do we want to do? Grunge. No, we're not gonna.
Nice.
Do that.
1999 all over again. Love it.
I know, right? It strikes again. Let's hit escape from New York and see what happens. So if we turn up the saturation on this, that gets a little too flat. Okay, let's try close encounters.
Okay.
I do like the Matrix. I do usually have fun with the Matrix. Okay, so let's try that. Oh, that's looking pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay, so now let's go to our highlights. Remember how we were talking about this earlier? We're going to pick an abysmal color, something that looks terrible.
Right.
And we're going to select our highlight ranges. So let's say like there.
And you choose that terrible color so that it's easy to see, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah. And so now I can increase the brightness and contrast in just those areas. So now if we look before, after.
Okay, yeah.
Right? And so now I can go to my shadows. Same thing. We're going to pick a terrible color. Like so. And we're going to pick a range.
Oh, yeah.
Like so. We reset this. And then we're going to say, well, I want to drop the brightness. I'm going to increase the contrast. There we go. And now let's take our hue and adjust that. Let's go to our shadows. doing this live, like unrehearsed, is hard. This is fun.
It's
Super
looking
hard.
great though. Yeah, very cool. Yeah, and we've had such a great range of images being
Oh
submitted
yeah,
for you
this
to
is
work on. It's been
crazy.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. This is super fun. Let's try. No, that's definitely not gonna work. That's terrible. Reset you. There we go. That's what we're looking for.
Okay. Yeah, get some contrast back in there.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm like trying to bring it back to like a little bit of like the color grading that he had.
Yeah, with a little bit of
We
contrast.
started
Yeah.
with.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah.
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 But if we turn off the smoke and fog, it
Yeah.
looks like that,
Gotcha.
right? And then like we turn off the high contrast, we get that, right?
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
but just like so quickly, and then like let's go back into image and let's go to detail, and let's obviously turn that way down. But
Man, early 2000s HDR portraits. Love that.
yeah. But I mean, like, if we look at, like, because, like, these cosplayers, they put so much work into these
I was
details. So
just
we want to make sure
when you
that
added
they
that
can-
contrast and that outfit just popped, man. It's just so
Yeah.
incredibly detailed. It's nuts. Yeah,
Yeah.
Dave was saying
Yeah,
something.
like, they put
Yeah.
so much work into these. Like, we want to be able to show it off,
Incredible
right? So I
outfit.
don't want to hide
Yeah.
it behind a whole bunch of effects.
Smoke.
But I
Yeah,
also
just,
Yeah. But I also don't want to, like, we want this to look like a completed image. We want this to look like a piece of art that this person is going to, because they put hundreds of hours into
Yeah.
these costumes, right? So, like, you want to bring out that little bit of detail. But yeah, that's probably where I would go with that one. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's cool, okay.
realistically.
I mean, I think it shows a great mix, right, in terms of adding the like really crazy effects that we would kind of see from a movie or something like that, and we've you also showed us some very very subtle effects that people looking at the image wouldn't know that anything had been done to it, and then hopefully people looking at this would go, I think something's been done to that,
Yeah, exactly. I mean, what's really fun is if we go to Ultrazap, you'll see like some very familiar names here, like Swamp Thing and like Palpatine, and
Okay.
remember how I said that we make stuff for movies?
Yeah.
This is because we made the thing for Palpatine.
Oh,
Like that's
what? Is it
Star Wars
really? That's
Palpatine.
from.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Cool, right?
That's how they
Yeah,
did it.
so like
That's nuts.
whenever you look through these effects, like there's a bunch of stuff in here. So like lens and distort, for example, warp polar. This is the Matrix, like the warp fisheye. So remember when they were like reaching down to the handle and opening the handle and it was all distorted? Yeah.
Okay.
So that's these.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So look,
But yeah, so
go on.
you'll see a lot of stuff in optics where you're just like, why does that exist? And you're like, remember movies. Like these things come from movies. They were like, the reason they exist is because someone was making a movie and they asked for it.
Yeah, because I saw the names and I'm like, they've just called it that for just cause, and I didn't actually realize that was from the actual movie. That's nuts. Yeah.
So dirty. There's so much nerd culture hidden in this software too.
Yeah.
And that's just like what's so fun for
It's
me.
been around
is
for
that
30
it's,
years,
like-
you said, right? So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, well, the motion graphics team has been. Optics has been around for 5, but like
Yeah.
all this stuff comes from the motion
that
graphics
anyway,
team. So
yeah.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
look, it's obviously getting late. I want to be respectful of your time as well. So is there something?
I'm fine. It's
is
a
it-
question of if everybody's watching. It's just
Yeah,
like, oh my God,
right.
can you just shut up already? Like, you just want to cut this off before we get.
I
to
knew
one
I
of
was
the
saying
questions.
it's like, so I think we've run out of time, guys. No, it's fine. So yeah, so let's have a look at because I was asking you about displacement maps and that sort of thing. So this image could be a cool one to do that on.
Yeah, let's do that. Okay. Filter. Oh yeah, there's one of the things that we can do in here too. That's really nice. And this is not a Facebook saved image, I think, so we'll have a little bit more resolution to work with. Are there any questions or anything so far from people? I mean, is anybody mortified with what I've done to their image? Because I'm so sorry if you hate it.
Jamie said he's unfriending you, but other than that, I think.
Oh, that's fine.
I think you're good. Yeah. Vlad was abusing us for interchanging grain and noise inappropriately, but other than that, yeah. I think they're
Oh
good.
yeah, yeah, that's fine. I'm not quite that weapons grade when it comes to
Yeah.
noise and grain.
Yeah, Vlad has a go at me every single time. I kind of lean into it a
Yeah.
little bit, so I would, but yeah, yeah. So Gripe says, is there any option for halation?
Refresh my brain on halation again. Hold on, I gotta look that up.
I mean, it's kind of like bloom in the highlights, right? Kind of.
Hold on.
It's one of those things where I know what it is when I see it, but yeah.
Oh, bloom inhalation. Do. I'm just looking it up right now because it's not too often I get out nerded in the questions, and that's fun for me. Oh, okay. Yeah. Um, yeah, so the best bet for all of that stuff is going to be in here in fog and frost and halo and mist and net and silk. Those are probably where a lot of those halation effects are going to live. So what I would do is start combining like fog and then create a new layer and then go into, where is it? I often lose it. This is the downside. There it is, chromatic aberration.
I think as well, to Grap's point there, is there any option for halation as to what you are looking to kind of achieve with it? If you're going for, I want to make halation like a vintage lens, like analog style lens type thing, then I think there's a couple of ways that you can go about doing that as well.
There's a bunch of different ways that you can like skin a cat, as it were. Like the chromatic aberration and the fog filters would probably treat you well, but also like in the film lab. In the film lab, I would probably spend a bunch of time in like the bleach bypass, film damage, S effect, and looks. The looks category would probably also you would find a bunch of things in here, like sunset, for example, would probably treat you quite well.
Yeah.
So like if we just like, that's the sunset effect all on its own.
Okay.
So it has that little bit of a glow and everything that you're looking for, as well as like, yeah. We can definitely take that offline.
So Vlad's given the explanation here, and he's spot on with this. So halation is something that happens to the film when light bounces from the plastic back, or like the plastic back of the camera into the layer of film, so it gets that red bloom around the highlights. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Vlad. Well done. Yeah. So it's like the cine bloom style where you get that red fringing. Yeah. Well done, Vlad. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you nailed it.
Yeah. So then that would be here with the chromatic aberration sliders for sure.
I found some
fog to get that bloom.
Yeah, I found some luck with that chromatic aberration to give the edges this kind of shift, as it were. Worked pretty well.
Yeah, the chromatic aberration sliders are gorgeous. I actually rarely get the chance to demo them because like most people just don't care. Like, I'm trying to get rid of it. I'm like, oh, but it looks so good.
Oh, right, yeah. We're all going back to it.
Yeah, and we can like customize it here. Like we can just move it around like wherever we want it. Like however much and however little you want.
I've played a little bit with that, and it does a really good job of shifting it from a centralized point. So it's not just like shifting the whole layer like you would do in Photoshop. It is kind of treating it as in it's coming from a lens, so it gets more dramatic. You can dictate where it gets more dramatic towards the edges and that sort of stuff as well, which is very cool.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, again, like with everything, it's all fully customizable. So it's wicked fun. Okay, so if I go delete there, somewhere fog. Okay, so let's go to light again, and let's go to here, and let's go to foliage, and let's take you. All right. Now let's move this around. We're just going to put this again just onto the background. I'm going to give this a nice blue color because I want to kind of match it a little bit with the environment that's going on. So like nice and subtle, right? It looks like she has rabbit ears right now. There we go. Let's try that. All right. And we just want this on the background. Again, Easy Mask is like my best friend forever. I love Easy Mask. Put you back there and some over here, and then not on the face and not on the skin. Let me go enter. And so now we have like very subtle.
Okay.
There we go. And then I'm just going to use the displacement mapping just to gently affect it here. So I can see there's a little bit of effect was showing up on the tank top. So we're just going to get rid of that. Again, I can just hit M on my keyboard and see exactly what the mask looks like, which is insane. Look at that mask. Just like off of one little swipe.
Yeah, like literally 2 seconds, literally.
Yeah, and like we could refine this ad nauseum if we wanted to, or just the image doesn't call for it, so I don't need to, right? Like, so this is what I love about it is that like, you know, all of these masks, like they look so organic. Like that's something that like, you know, with Photoshop, we can just like select the subject and we get like a perfectly cut out person, but it's not really necessarily taking in everything else that's going on in the image.
Yeah.
So that's why like I love the Easy Mask tool so much because it's just
yeah, because you have that option up there,
quick.
select person as well, but you prefer the easy mask. It's just a little bit more organic. Yeah, good point.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it is my favorite masking tool by far. So let's take leaves here. And let's go up to the face.
Oh, I really put my retouch into the test now, Renee. I see how it is. That's fine.
Oh, I didn't do the
no, this sharpen. Yeah.
Magic Sharp. Yeah. If it was Magic Sharp, we would be testing it for sure. Okay, so in this case here, I'm going to click and drag this mask up, and then I'm going to invert it, which is right here underneath window. Go back to here. And now I'm going to hit that displacement slider.
Oh, yeah.
And see how that's like wrapping around like the face and everything so nicely?
Definitely. Yeah, clever.
Obviously, it's a bit bright. And again, like this is like subtle, but that's the point, right? There we go. And again, if I find that this is too bright, okay, so this is going to fall into the advanced category, which is probably going to frustrate some people here. So we can stack masks. So we can be like, okay, well, we have our easy mask, but I kind of want this to be less bright here on the front of the tank top. So I can grow and I can create a paint mask on top of it, but I have to change the blending mode. So just if you ever have to stack masks, follow this step exactly.
Okay.
So we're going to go to multiply because right now we have normal, we have subtract and multiply. What we want is multiply. And I'm going to invert this mask because I want all of those effects to be there. And now I can go in here and I can change my opacity of my brush and I can just turn down how bright that effect is.
Yeah.
And so now this gives me the opportunity to turn up the brightness of this layer because I actually want those effects, but I just ever so slightly want it turned down in very specific areas. So there we go.
Okay. Yeah. How do you stack masks in Photoshop? I just use groups within groups. Is that?
Yeah, groups within groups.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, this gets like more mathematically complicated.
Well, that's far neater putting them in a line like that as opposed to groups with masks. It gets a mess.
Yeah. But yeah, it does sometimes get complicated though when you're like not really sure. You don't understand like the reason why this says multiply instead of subtract as opposed to normal.
Yeah.
But it does make a big difference. But yeah, so let's go to grads and film. Oh, you know what I'll do it on a different image. And then we can go here and make this just like a really nice black and white and just give you a heart attack.
Fuck. Do you better not? Come on now. Oh, no.
That would be amazing. Just like listening to you stutter.
No, thank you.
Yeah, there we go. Probably do that.
Okay, so what have you done there? You just come in with a film stock and...
Yeah, and then I just turned down the layer opacity. I just picked one that I thought looked nice, the Eastman.
Gotcha. I got people in chat who are keeping count on how many times you've said black and white.
Amazing.
It's a dirty word here, mate. You gotta be careful. Yeah.
I love your people. I love that they're picking up on the trolling.
Yeah. Vlad said I'm a mod on stream. How do I ban her for the naughty word? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. You get them, guys. You get her.
That's amazing. I love it. That's so good. But yeah, so that's basically like how, like with the displacement map and everything, like how that works.
It's super impressive how that, and you can really see it like organically moving over the skin is wild. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I'll show you. This is the best image that I have for showing how it works.
Okay.
This is like this is totally unedited. Yeah, this will be the easiest way to show you how it actually works. Plus, it's like a full scale image. We'll get back to your images in a second here.
Wow.
Okay, so let's go to light. Let's pick. You can hear my cat
is that
downstairs
what that is?
probably howling. Yeah. He's just being a dude. He's an old man. Okay.
Oh yeah, he's getting teasy.
Now. Sorry?
He's getting teasy by the sounds of it.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's an old man. He's a grumpy old dude.
Yeah.
Okay. So we can do this. And again, this is like, look at how scraggly that is. Like, it's nothing, but look how quickly it does just like a perfect job. Actually, I want that to be this way. Okay.
Jamie's heading for a timeout, Dave. Get him.
Now let's add like a little bit of color, like so. Okay, so this is, and now
that's
I'm
beautiful. Actually, that looks totally legit, man. Yeah, that's wild.
Right?
So quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super fast. Yeah, and no displacement mapping needed or anything like that. But the next one we're going to. So we're going to go back to light. Let me go back to foliage. Let's grab a different one. Sure. Whatever. Actually, let's take the branches. Too busy. Let's take you. There we go. All right. Now, rotate like so. Copy this mask. Invert the mask. Go back to here. And so now we're going to work with the displacement slider. So what we're going to do here is see how, look at what it's doing on the jawline.
Yeah, okay. Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's so nice. And what's also great about this is like, because we're working with this, right? I can go, well, actually, I don't want that underneath her chin because that makes no sense. There would be no light there.
True.
Right? Because this is coming, the light direction is coming from the top down. So obviously this here would be in shadow. So I'll just re-render that mask. There we go. And so now it's off underneath the chin. So if I hit M, I can be like, okay, well, it's less, but I still want it to be less. Right? Brush. There we go. There we go.
Boom. Yeah, perfect.
Now it's gone.
Yeah.
And so now it's exactly where we want it to be. And then I can change this to a screen blending mode and I can turn that up a little bit.
Way more subtle. Yeah,
like
nice.
So.
Yeah.
Right? And then we can just like turn and adjust this however we want it to look. And then this gets even more fun. This is where like everybody in your group is going to go.
Don't do it, Renee. Don't do it.
I'm super going to. It's super fun. It's so fun. Hold on. Just wait. So if I want this purple to only be in the shadows, I don't want it anywhere else.
Okay.
There we go. And then preserve highlights and exposure compensation.
Okay. Yeah, I see what you mean.
And then I can go to... It's wild, right?
Yeah.
And so now let's say we want to have like a nice orange. We want to preserve the highlights. We do this, but then I drag this mask up to here, and then I invert it to here. And so now I have that, and I'm like, okay, well, maybe I should have made this a blue. So let's go down here to like one of those colors,
Okay. Yeah.
or like here. And there we go. And then from here, I can go, all right, well, that's fun. First of all, maybe let's like duplicate this one so we get it a little bit stronger. Let's duplicate this one so we get that a little bit stronger. And so now we're here. And then we go into image, and then we go to Magic Sharp. And we turn up our sharpening way too much. And then we adjust this to right where we want, because I don't want her skin over sharpened or anything. I want those lashes nice and crisp.
Okay.
Right? So then like before and after.
Yeah. Yeah. Just touching those highlights. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, oh my goodness, my poor computer. Hold on. Let's turn you off. So this is what happens when I play. This is what happens when I'm actually playing.
Yeah.
So then I go into like color, and I go to color correct. And let's pick Minority Report. But let's like bump up the saturation a little bit. So see what's happening now. And then I go to my highlights. And I pick a color. And I adjust my range. And put that back there. And then I can adjust the brightness and the contrast of just those highlights. So we're going to make this look like really sweaty.
Okay.
And let's like knock that saturation down just a little bit. And then we're going to go to the shadows. We're going to pick a terrible color. Reset that. We're going to increase the contrast. Knock down the brightness. And again, just like experimenting fully and completely, just
playing, yeah.
sliders. Like this is what I always tell people. I'm just like, get in and play. Like this is not like, nobody's going to jail if we practice this in our basement.
And it's all layers. It's all non-destructive. You can, undo, switch,
exactly.
change.
That's exactly right. And if you make something you like, you save it as a look, and then all of a sudden you have this gigantic library of presets like what I've got, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, like there's just like it's just so much. There's one other thing that I can show you really quickly that I think your people will really appreciate.
Okay. Yeah.
And then I will promise I will just stop talking.
All good. We got a few minutes, and then dinner time for me, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, same here. Okay, so let's go here, and let's go to
so Dave says definitely going to have to revisit this, i.e. optics. Never knew about the wraparound effect for layers. Yeah, I didn't either, Dave. I'll be honest with you, mate. Yeah, I was exactly the same. I was like, I thought I'd been playing with it, and then Renee showed me this, and I was like, what on earth? That's wild, yeah.
Well, let's say we wanted to very quickly add like some eyeshadow, because like God knows like how many times we take photos of people, portraits of people, and especially if we're working with like an inexperienced makeup artist or something, and the strobe blows out all their eyeshadow.
True.
Like, and it just looks like they're not wearing anything anymore, right?
Yeah.
So you can add any of these like gels, photographic, sepia, skin tone. I picked skin tone just because it's easy.
Mm-hmm.
And then I go to paint. And I'm going to reduce the opacity of that, make sure my brush is set to nice and soft. And then I'm just going to go through here and just add a little bit of eyeshadow just because. Now, this looks terrible, right? This, like, we can all unilaterally agree that looks bad.
Well, you're using a mouse, right? Not a pen by the looks of it, right?
I'm definitely, I'm just mousing it right now. Yeah, for sure.
I'm on the trackpad,
which
Jake.
makes it worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But when we use the preserve highlight slider, look at how like natural.
Oh yeah,
looks.
true. Yeah.
So that preserve highlight slider is like everything, and then you can just go in here and you can change this to whatever color you wanted to, and it looks so natural.
Yeah.
It's so pretty. Like, I'm a gigantic fan of how subtle this is. And then like if you need to do the same thing to lips, you just go. It's right. So then like I can just do the same thing with lips. Let's go like pick a atrocious color again. go to the paint mask and paint this in. Again, I'm doing this on a mouse, not a trackpad. Let's make that smaller, make that go away, clean that up. And then we just hit the preserve highlight slider. And like, it's so fast.
Yeah. Okay.
I've really been like loving all of that. And the last thing that we have, if I just go reset all, is we have Mask ML. So for all of you guys are skin photographers, portrait photographers, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
So if we wanted to, like, let's say we did a color grade where we washed out somebody's skin, which can happen sometimes, we can pick a skin tone and we can go here to Mask ML. And this is our AI mask tool.
What does ML stand for?
So it's the only one. Sorry?
What does ML stand for?
Machine learning.
Okay.
Yeah. So we train everything on all of our own data as well. So it's not trained on anything scary.
Yeah.
So we click this and I can select where I want this to be and where I don't want this to be. And I'm going to hit enter on the keyboard. And this is going to give me the rough mask. Now, if I hit M on the keyboard right now, I can hit this tool here and I can refine the edges of the mask. So this is basically a refine edge tool. So see how it's done to the hair here now? It's so fast. So if I go here and then I hit preserve highlights and a little bit of exposure compensation, and now all of a sudden we have like beautiful skin.
Clever. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. But if you have preserve highlights turned off, this looks terrible. This looks awful. Nobody would use this, right? Like this looks really bad. But you have to use preserve highlights and exposure compensation. And now it's just like exquisite skin. And Mask ML is made to work on people. It does. If you try to use Mask ML to cut out trees, it's not going to know what to do.
Gotcha.
It's not what it's trained on. It's trained on people.
Looking for the eyes and mouth and nose and stuff. Gotcha. Yeah.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
Okay.
So really quickly, like if you use if you go to the film lab and you go to like this Hugo and teal and orange, without it, this color profile really washes out the skin. But then you turn on the skin tone layer underneath it, and now all of a sudden you have just like beautiful color grading and the skin tones look correct.
Interesting. Jesus Christ. I know
the
nothing
Mask
about digital art anymore. That's it. I feel like I've just been sent back to primary school just to relearn everything.
Hey, I am happy to nerd out whenever you guys want.
Yeah.
I am more than like, I love doing this stuff. I love showing people possibility. And yeah, I will geek out all day long.
That's wild.
As you have well noticed, I haven't shut up for hours. So
it's been super useful, Renee. Yeah, it's been fascinating to see what it can truly do, because it's very difficult to kind of get an idea, and you've kind of tailored it towards us, right? Like portrait photographers and that sort of stuff. So you kind of know what is going to be kind of useful knowledge to us. So it's been really valuable. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Like cool. It's endless.
Yeah.
There's just so many things. Like we didn't even go into lens flares, which is like one of the big things that I wanted to show you, but like I think we're out of time. So
it's yeah. If you've got it set up, then that's fine. Yeah.
You're too polite.
Oh, I see.
Pick a lens flare.
I see. Jesus, that's a lot of lens flares.
Oh, just wait till the next update. I got you.
So are these real lens flares, or are they just CG'd, or what?
Yeah, so these are real lens flares, but we basically we pull everything apart. So we strip the lens flare down to piece by piece by piece.
Okay.
So we can blur the lens flare if we wanted to, or we can have it sharp. We can adjust the hotspot or the color like fully. So let's just go okay. We have rays brightness, so you can adjust how bright the rays are. We can rotate the rays.
Okay.
Yeah. We can like move this around so that you can like customize everything.
Jesus Christ.
You can
pull
pull these
the
off
artifacts
to the
and everything
side.
in there. It's wild, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's all there. It's all there. Yeah, these things are perfect. They're perfect.
That's nice.
We can adjust like how thick the rays are. Like it's insane how crazy all of this stuff gets if you want it to. And then there's also atmospheric elements. So if you're the type of photographer who shoots with smoke, and you're like, oh, I add a lens flare into my image, but now the lens flare looks weird because your atmospheric elements don't line up.
Right.
Well, you can add atmospheric elements into this to match the texture of the smoke that you have in your image.
Yeah, clever.
Yeah,
Okay.
because like it always looks weird when you add a lens flare when you've been
Yeah.
shooting with smoke because the lens flares are always smooth and there's no atmospheric particulates.
Clever. Okay. Damn.
So yeah, we can change
Wow.
the frequency so you can make it like very obvious
Yeah,
or you
yeah.
can make it very subtle.
Okay.
And then of course there's atmospheric detail so you can like slide it back and forth, and all of this runs on a seed, like a random seed. So you can use the exact same settings over and over and over again and only adjust the atmospheric seed between each image. And
Yeah,
that
look
way
different
it
every
looks
time.
like
Yeah.
it looks different every time. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's exactly right.
Wow.
So yeah, mega nerdy. It's so fun.
That is a lot
and then
of
whatever
flares.
settings,
Yeah.
whatever settings you have saved here. So like you don't even have to save this. So we made all these adjustments. When we go through all of these, now all of those settings are going to copy over into each one of these as you go through it. So you don't have to rechange your settings every single time. So you're like, I have the perfect color now. I have the perfect atmospheric amplitude. I have the hot spot brightness where I want it to. I just don't know which flare I want to use. All of those settings will copy over. And if you want to reset those settings, you just hit the reset button up
Okay.
here and it'll
Okay.
reset everything to default.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Jesus. There's a lot in there.
It's so much.
Yeah.
This is why, like I said, like normally like to do like a full thing on this is hours because like this still is just like scratching the surface.
My brain's already melted. Yeah. Jesus. All right, mate. Wow, fair
But-
play. Okay, so what's the best link to give people? I've got one here, which is obviously just the optics page. That's the best one to give people, right?
Yeah, that's the best one for sure. Until we get you on the, if you so choose to do an affiliate thing.
Yeah,
No pressure.
I mean,
'cause
if
that's
it- if-
weird. I don't like pushing people.
Yeah, it's. I mean, yeah, no, it's fine. But does it give those guys a discount in any way?
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
there you go. That's fine. Yeah. I
Yeah,
will make sure all of the pennies that I earn from the affiliate code goes straight back into the stream. Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay.
I mean, like on the flip side, also like for you guys, like so all those looks and everything that we saved, like you guys can share those between each other. So like Jake, like like
Oh, really?
so those looks that I made today for everybody, I can save those. I can send them to you, and you can just give them to people.
Oh, and you can export them. That's cool.
Yeah, 100%. You can totally like export everything. You can share them. You can everything. So like I'm more than happy to like give the looks files
Yeah,
of
yeah,
what
that's
I've
awesome,
made
man.
today
Yeah,
to you
okay.
guys,
Okay,
and you
yeah.
guys can just like
Play around with it. Yeah,
putz
yeah.
around with them. And like like definitely like the whole reason why like I made the looks stuff is because like I want people to create and share and like see all the things that they can do with it, because everybody uses optics differently. It's like Photoshop. Like there's 30 different ways to sharpen because all of us have 30 different needs.
I know.
And
right?
optics
Yeah.
is no different in that like there's so much
Yeah.
potential and there's so many different ways to use the tools. And so I want people to be able to share that with their community, is to be like, hey, this is what I made. What do you think? And then like that helps us learn and grow and evolve the software.
Okay, yeah. So what you're saying is that you welcome feedback. Is what you're saying? Yeah.
Oh, please. All of it. Yeah, definitely. Like hit me up. My DMs all the time on Instagram and like my website and stuff like that. I'm totally open to suggestions, feature requests, bugs, all the things. Like, yeah.
Okay.
Let me know.
Yeah, it's great.
That's
Awesome.
great.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So if anybody's got any last minute questions for Renee, now is the time, or forever hold your peace. Let me just check out everything here. This is the perfect photo editing app for a CG artist nerd, but it was also suck the joy for me trying to do crazy stuff in the studio. I mean, yeah, I think you can do both, right? If you want to enjoy doing it in the studio, or like we had an image from Chris earlier on, which is a great example of like I wanted to do this on the day, I just couldn't get it to work. So it was like and that was totally unscripted as well. It was perfect.
Yeah, it's
and then
completely unscripted,
and then
yeah.
unknowingly Renee actually then did what he was trying to do anyway. So I think there's absolutely room for both, for sure. Yeah. Sterling, she didn't get around to mine. I know she didn't, but I promise you, maybe we'll get Renee back and we can do that.
Which one was Sterling?
I think Sterling wanted to do something with fire and that sort of thing. We can look at that.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, we can just do another one of these. Like,
Yeah.
I'm totally down
Thank
to
you,
just
Ines.
like have geek sessions and like, yeah, that's.
Yeah,
If you guys want to watch
we
that stuff,
will-
I'm
we
more
will
than
hold
happy
you
to
it.
oblige. That's
Yeah.
fun for me.
Yeah, we will hold you to it. Yeah.
Give me some images with some like very specific requests. Those are always fun too. I've done a couple of those where like we have like a person like fake art directing where they're just like, oh, but like, what if this? And so like I can show you.
Oh,
how to
clever.
do.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like maybe the next one that we do, we could have people submit images with like a request list of what they want done to the image, and then I can like figure out how to get them where
That's
they want
bold,
to go.
man. That's bold. Brave. I respect
That'd
it.
be fun.
I respect it. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Doesn't necessarily mean I'll be able to do it, but I will.
No, it's true, right?
Give it
That's
my
fair.
best
Yeah,
go.
that's
I think
fair.
it'd be
That's
fun.
cool. I do like that idea. Yeah, I do like that idea. Yeah, yeah. Okay.
That'd be fun.
Jake's planning optics Xmas presets pack. That's right. Yeah, like that's right. Yeah, get those preset packs out for Christmas. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we do have a looks. We have a looks pack store on the optics website as well, where like
do you? Nice. Okay.
we're building. Myself and another artist, we make the looks packs for everything. So
Awesome.
yeah,
Okay.
it's super fun.
I didn't
Working on a
actually know
Halloween pack right now. I'm very excited.
Oh
to get
yeah,
things,
it's
like,
getting near that
creepy.
point. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah, people saying, yeah, thanks, didn't know I needed this. It's awesome. Product effects and fire, great mix. Yeah. Remember to like, subscribe, bell icon, follow Renee. Yeah, please go and hit Renee.
I do have a
Check out
YouTube video
Renee's
dropping soon, like
do you?
tonight or tomorrow as well.
On
so yeah,
Boris
my
or
neglected YouTube channel.
on,
No,
on,
my
you-
own.
on
My
your
own
YouTube.
shit.
Okay. What's your channel then? Can we get to it via Instagram?
Yeah, well, you can get to it via YouTube as well. Just search Renee Robyn Photography.
I mean, I guess you could do that, you know. Shots fired. Oh, I get it. Yeah.
I haven't uploaded anything on there apart from shorts in forever because I was looking after mom. So now that that stage has passed, I'm like, okay, we can start doing stuff again. Like, let's see what happens.
Well, I'll definitely get that in the just description of the video and that sort of thing. So obviously the live will be like the full live will be up, and then I'll break it down into 2 videos. Probably Renee and I ranting for an hour at the start, and then actual content an hour after that. I'll probably put 2 separate cuts out. You know.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Otherwise, people are gonna be like 4 hours. No.
Christ, yeah, exactly. What are they talking about? Like, smoking. It's all they talk about is smoking. Yeah. Okay. Let's have a look. How often do they do updates and fan subscriptions to see what they have? So you don't have to buy the subscription, Tina. So you can do a one-off purchase.
You can buy the standalone. Yeah, you can. Yeah, so it gets you 1 year of updates. If you buy,
clever.
Like to own it.
Okay.
Yeah, so you get 1 year of updates with that purchase.
And how often do you guys update it then?
Twice a year is the plan.
Twice a year, okay.
So I'm like new, obviously, to the company. So we're hoping to get an update out this summer, and we're deciding right now whether we should like just release the bug fixes and then like put everything we have into like the 2026 release. So we're just kind of having those conversations right now, trying to figure out what it's gonna make everybody the most pleased. But yeah, we usually have 2 updates per year.
I mean, that's okay. That's cool. Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
and
there's
so
the annual. Yeah.
So you just a one-off purchase and it's yours forever, and you get a year's worth of updates, or you just on the monthly subscription. Yeah, cool. Okay.
Or there's annual. Yeah. So there's annual. So it's $99 US a year or $9 a month US, which is nothing.
Yeah. So you get a couple of months free for doing the year. Okay. Cool. Yeah. So it's totally up to you, whatever you like. So. That's pretty powerful.
Yeah, definitely reach out.
$10,
Yeah. Definitely reach out. Like anybody who's watching, just like hit me up if you have any questions or whatever. Like I'm more than happy to answer. So
yeah, and she's not just saying that. Like Renee has always been good for that sort of stuff. Yeah, she's definitely one of us. You know, not those corporate bullshit fuckers. Yeah. Renee, thank you so much for joining us. Honestly, it's been awesome. I've learned tons. I learned loads. Yeah, so good. Yeah, really powerful tool, and I'm sure we will revisit this, and maybe I'll pull it up myself and embarrass myself to on stream without you. I'll get prepped for our next one, so I'm a bit more knowledgeable next time. But yeah, thank you so much.
It'll be super fun.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me, and like thanks to everybody who's watching. That was really fun. So yeah, I definitely look forward to doing it again. And to the guy who is waiting, just send me a message on Instagram, and like maybe we can just like pop onto a one-on-one quickly, and I'll just like walk you through what I think I would do with your image.
There you go, Sterling. You don't get that offer very often, mate. There you go. Yeah. Do it. All right, Renee. Well, thank you so much. I'm gonna go have some dinner.
No worries. Thanks again.
But thank you for joining us. And,
I'm gonna hoover some food into my face too.
On that note, take care, mate. Bye.
Doodles. Bye.
Well, all right. There we go, guys. Yeah, there we go. all good. Good stuff. Yeah, I was awesome. Look, we went on a little bit long, but that was really, really good. Learned loads, and I mean, you know, if it was boring, I would have cut it. But there was tons and tons of stuff there to learn. So yeah, very, very cool, very, very impressive. So thank you again to Renee for that. Let me just turn this on. Can I do it now or not? Maybe not. Boom. There we go. So yeah, look, I think I'm going to go get some dinner. It's been long, and we didn't get through to everybody's images. I will probably leave feedback manually on those images now, so I'll probably do that tomorrow. Yeah, the cuts will be out. Thank you to everybody that tuned in. It's been really, really good. Lots of good questions as well. As always, like Jamie said, make sure you like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Don't forget my online workshops are still available, and mentoring stuff is on there as well. Always fun doing those, so check those out. And if there's anything else, guys, I'm probably going to wrap it up there. I think it's been a good one. It's been a good one. My favorite stream, you know, why still in. Yeah, pleasure to watch. Yeah, nice one, Dave. Yeah, it was really, really cool. Yeah. Thomas given one. I presume Thomas said the B word. So yeah, we on the get him, Dave. You get him. All right, guys. It's been an absolute pleasure, and hopefully again in 2 weeks' time. Right? Okay. Thanks everybody that tuned in. Catch you in the next one. Take care, guys. Bye.